What's up?
Please make it right. You hear me? Make it right. Please make it right. You hear me? Yeah. Nope. I'm on the show tonight, boo. You can go ahead. Please make it right. You on the line? You hear me? Okay. We back on live.
Unmuted. Welcome to Talk Show. Please.
Hey, Maker, I can hear you.
This episode is being recorded.
You hear me? Hey, Makerwell, you hear me?
Recording started.
BB48. It's good. Can the family hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Makerwell.
Black Power.
Black Power, all right. Yeah, I just wanted. I'm glad I hear you now. I had some feedback and so forth because I had a laptop on.
Yeah, I was trying to call in. I'm talking via internet, so it may be a little choppy. If I fall off, I'll call back in, and we can finish talking. You know what I mean? It's nothing.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. So yeah,
But
Black Power
in
being
the
from Hodio,
meantime, BB48.
AAUP, Feet
Hey,
on the
Pete,
Ground
and
Radio. We back on Saturday, the Saturday Chop Up.
it's good to be back chopping up a family as usual. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Most definitely. It's funny. I've been all day today. I was pulling up flyers from different guests we've had on, and we had some guests I didn't even remember.
Right. Hey, I like
Yeah.
this new little setup that's going on, man. With with TalkShoe, man. You can do your whole little chat room, live chat via internet, man, on your cell phone. So for the family who may not know, we back in action, and we got new downloads and whatnot going on the website. So we can have video chat, voice chat room popping. I mean, let's get it in, fam.
Yeah, no doubt. Something quick I wanted to mention. I had seen on the comment section from one of the Walter Williams classes that we got on
Okay.
YouTube,
Okay.
and I wanted to mention the comment the brother made. See what you think about it. I think it was pretty relevant,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pulling that up right now because I check the comments, man. I get them in the email, so when I get them,
Okay.
when I get a notification, usually related to the show, I know it's got something to do with that Walter Williams,
Right.
Yeah, like
Easy. Easy.
like 90% of the time is a Walter Williams related question,
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pulling that up right now, but
Okay. Take your time,
yeah, man.
family. But yeah.
I was saying, what you had in mind today, Mikael? You have anything on your mind? You want to kind of crack an egg, crack open?
You know me, man. I'm trying to stay consistent and persistent with this with this Pan-African talk, man. It's been it's 2018. We pushing about 100 years past the Marcus Messiah Garvey movement. And our cause is still relevant. That's my propaganda for tonight. You got a lot of you got a lot of factions, a lot of organizations, a lot of religious groups. But quite frankly, in terms of the one organization that's speaking to the matter, the situation regarding our people, it has always been RBG. I feel that honestly, we're the only group who take a militant stance in current times because everybody's militant. The Muslims are militant, the whites are militant. We should be militant too. But we're the only group that are taking a non-compromising stance towards religion, because I think we're the only ones who've really been able to analyze the effects of religion, how it affects us, how it is used to manipulate us. And in 2018, the only cause, the only organization in America for the African American that can give them what they need in terms of the political, social, economic revolution has been RBGs. It goes beyond a religious group. It goes beyond a political group. In fact, it's the only group that's waving a flag of nationality that doesn't have a religious background. You know what I mean? You got a lot of organizations that may have colors or may have a flag, but they don't have a religious background. They have a religious, type of morality system, which will always have us conflicting with our social political agenda. So I just want to put that out, brother.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's more like the identity is centered on a religion before politics get involved.
Right. Exactly. And that has been the tool that has been used against us for a very long time to keep us in the situation that we are in today. Nothing falls from the sky. Everything has a history. And if we keep that type of mentality and perspective, we'll be able to get to some of the truths that that we face today, brother.
For sure.
Anything you had on your chest you wanted to get off on?
Well, I listened to a couple of lectures today, and the one I played back was Khalid Muhammad, "No More Negro Stuff. Revolution is the only option."
Okay.
And I thought it was kind of odd because that was one of his last speeches. He was talking about Al Gore losing the election to Bush.
Right.
And so I thought about that because, like, Dr. Khalid on that particular lecture, man, he touched on, he spoke on a lot of elders. He wasn't necessarily saying anything per se against what they stand for, but he was just saying there's a lot of that knowledge isn't enough. The degrees and stuff isn't enough.
Okay. I'm listening, brother. Go ahead.
And so the brother alluded to why he started the New Black Panther Party. He gave a background, a lot of why he stood for what he stood for. And one of the things to emphasize is that he had to create the New Black Panther Party because we needed it. It wasn't a move against the Black Panthers that already existed, but he's saying we need more. You know what I mean? It's not the right time.
I'm listening, brother. Go ahead.
And we're looking at 2018, and the organization practically doesn't exist. And here we are, 17 years later. It doesn't exist in that capacity. Now, what we do have, though, is we have what he was speaking on. You got, one man has the Rifle Association. But Negroes got guns, but you never know we got guns. But nowadays, compared to that, you have some visibility regarding safety and security in the black community with different groups and gun clubs and stuff like that surfacing. And so that's what my thoughts have been for the most part. Is revolution still an option on the table? And is it something that has to be modified? Is it something that has to be modified or can't even be modified? Because another part of what Colin was saying, you can't have a revolution without blood. And so,
Right.
I think we're past, as a people, we are past diplomatic communications about our situation and circumstance. We really are. The diplomacy happened in the 60s.
Right.
And that was all the diplomacy we was entitled to. Everything else since has been a one-sided issue. One-sided as far as the power is concerned.
Right.
So black people haven't been afforded.
We
haven't been afforded the time to have a diplomatic conversation about the current circumstances. So, like, yeah, they gave us a chance back in the 60s, but rappers meeting with Obama isn't the diplomacy that we needed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And you're very right when you say that because go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, and so alluding to what we got now, we got the white quarter. You know what's crazy? In this environment, it looks like there's more, like white people are more active than they ever have been. At least that's how it looks. I'm not saying they are, but I'm saying it looks that way. Just based off public opinion, when we take the things that we're accustomed to dealing with as black people, it looks like white folks is on all gears, got all gears working in their favor because of the leadership. So there's really no room for diplomacy in this day and age. So then how would you justify revolution in this day and age?
Me?
You know? How would you validate it? Validate its necessity.
For me, it's always going to be validated because it hasn't been paid. It hasn't been taken care of. It's been swept under the rug. It's been disregarded. It's been isolated from public opinion and view. So, in my opinion, that's what's going to always keep it relevant. And for America, that's a piece of history that they would rather keep under the rug. And for us, you know, it's meaningless for us to take a position on making sure that reparations are being enforced if we don't educate our children about reparations. You see what I'm saying? Because the wise man has to know we may not see it in our generation, and that's okay. It's expected. This cracker don't want to balance nothing that he's done. But it's imperative for us to take the position of saying, you know what, our kids gonna still fight this cause. Our kids are still gonna say, you know what, my daddy and my mother didn't get no reparations, neither had their grandmother and grandfather. So why would I take a integrational perspective with your society, given the history that you have not paid a balance that has been due for 400 years?
Absolutely. Okay. That says a lot. I just got that comment up from the Walter Williams class, but that's absolutely true, man. I look at my son today, for example. with the stuff I was listening to, because I played in my house loud, and thought about that. How would he continue? What role would he play in continuing on what foundational work has already began? There's got to be a lot of advocacy amongst our own people when it comes to trying to get some consistency going and keeping what needs to be done fresh in the minds, or even awakening what needs to be done in the minds of some people.
Brother Carl, you still there?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, brother, loud and clear.
Oh yeah. So no, I was saying it's something when you think about the youth, and our generation might not see certain changes occur, but understanding that there's got to be a level of I think advocacy is one of the biggest words that the future could utilize amongst our own people.
Right.
Not actually, yeah, a pretty much an isolated advocacy.
I agree, because
the
there
same
has
way
to be
that there
some
was
type of there has to be some type of organization that makes sure that people are identifying what's going on. That's in my opinion, that's where advocacy programs come in terms of making
That's
sure
exactly
that
what I meant.
you don't get caught up in the commercials. You know exactly what the message is saying, who is saying it to, and what's the overall accomplishments of the message being persuaded. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a position a lot of Negroes need to really analyze in terms of what it is that we need to get our social political platform off the ground, and how we choose to analyze certain situations, what we choose to identify with in terms of our struggle, and us taking a firm stand on what we know is not being something that can represent us at all, and probably will be doing more harm than good, So
Mm-hmm.
that's where I'm at with it.
I quickly wanted to touch on that comment, right? So
Okay.
this is a brother related to the speaking in reference to the Walter Williams. His question had to do with the Egyptians and the Ghanaians.
Okay.
Man, my page reloading again, huh? I want to be specific. I don't want to paraphrase the brother, man.
Respect.
Yeah, so the brother's name was where's things? All right. He I want to say his name was David.
Okay, and what's his question?
Hey, we got somebody named Marcus Allen subscribed to the channel. Marcus Allen was a famous football player, wasn't he?
I will believe to be so is yes, based on
Nah, but when people subscribe, I'll be checking them names, man.
Right.
Yeah, so his name was Brian. So his question was, he said, I agree with what Walter Williams says about the Egyptians, but my question is, how are we descended from Egyptians versus the other Africans? He said, as he said, those from Ghana have their own history. Why are we not descended from them instead? How do we know?
See, that's it. That question right there is one of history and geography. The brother who's probably from Ghana He does not need to use the ancient Egyptians as a reference point for him to be able to say, you know what, I'm African. I have African roots. My African roots fall from that of West Africa. My African roots also fall from Ghana, which is a part of of West Africa, and I have no insecurities with my history. Okay. Now, when we look at the African diaspora in terms of relevancy with geography and history, when Walter Williams made that statement, it was one for the African in America who has been looking for a proportion of geography to identify with. Are we from West Africa? Are we from South Africa? Etc. Walter Williams simply said, by us identifying racially with ancient Egyptian Africans, that's one. And two, by us identifying with the geography of ancient African Egyptians, that's two. And then three, by us identifying with how Europeans left that particular part of history out of history and omitted the relationship that the ancient Egyptian Africans had to European history, and that no other African ethnic group chose to uh, uh, fully take on the history of ancient Egypt, means that for us, that's a open door. And that we should take that open door as truth for us coming from a strong line of ancient African history and antiquity that would give us the self-esteem and then would give us the political and social energy and motivation to step to the forefront of human history. You understand what I'm saying, Brother Carls? So
Yeah.
for the brother with that question, Walter Williams is more or less speaking to the African American who has no identification marker in Africa, but is still looking to get back home. And what Walter Williams is saying is, look to your ancient African Egyptian ancestors as being the rubric for antiquity in terms of what it means to be a civilization. And also note that no other people in history have claimed to be ancient Egyptian, because to be an ancient Egyptian, you have to be an African. And
Yeah.
since no other African has claimed that, then that means that is something for us as a people in terms of those who are in North America to see some glory of our attributes to human history in antiquity. So that would be my answer to that, brother Carl.
Thanks for that, Garah. I'm gonna make sure I direct them to the show too. There's another comment I got also. I mean, this one here has a lot to. I think this is a specific question to Dr. Williams, but I pay attention to these kind of comments and stuff because it shows a lot of our people are out there looking and studying whatever content is out there that's concrete or the closest thing to it, you know. And so this is from a brother Edward Hill, and so he wanted to ask about King Tut. He said King Tut had a pair of sandals found in his tomb, and on the bottom of the sandals he had the Nubians in chains. He says, I don't know. I don't know if that was a part of the Alexander the Greek era, but could you answer that question for me? He said.
Right. Okay. First off, the comment by that brother seems to already already tell me that he himself must feel that there was a division between the time in which King Tut reigned and the relationship that the Egyptians of Lower Egypt had with Upper Egypt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, um, to give everybody a forecast of how Europeans and Jews, Yahudis, have distorted ancient Egyptian history, I'll use Akhenaten to prove my point, like we did on the last show. On one hand, they tell you Jewish scholar Sigmund Freud even referenced Akhenaten, and the general consensus of historians would agree that, as legend tells it, Akhenaten was wiped or written off the walls of history due to his political and religious ideology with regards to Aten. You heard this before, right?
Yep.
That Akhenaten was so radical that they wiped him from the history books. And then here comes some brothers from Feet on the Ground who say, well, if that's true, how do we know so much about him? And I would say the same thing to that brother regarding the relationship that the Nubians had with the Egyptians in the time, allegedly, that King Tut was alive. And its history has
Mm-hmm.
shown that one of the things that Upper Egypt, when I say Upper Egypt, we're talking about the region closer to the Mediterranean, is that they had a fluctuation of Asiatics coming from India, coming from Western Asia in terms of the Arabs, a whole mixture of people. And as history has shown, and as our elders have told us that every time there was a problem, the help came from the south. That help
Yep.
came from the Sudanese area that we call Nubia, all the way from Ethiopia, Uganda, etc. And they were the ones who made sure that those brothers and sisters in Upper Egypt held up the morals of Ma'at. So the question, to answer that brother's question, because I can't just answer it without giving some historical background, is that before we can just look at the relationship, or the relationship that these people have with one another, we have to look at the history that caused them into.
Hold on, make it right.
Brother Carls, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You hear me?
Yes, sir. I hear you loud and clear.
All right.
I hope I answered the question.
I think you did. I got one more question. And, this is a common one. We touched on this the other day. This is about the initial Walter Williams class, and its question has to do with, again, the same thing, ancient African Egyptian power. But what about the black and brown Native American Indians? Why aren't they classified as ancient people Well, why are we classified as being them when we're discussing antiquity and who we are?
Okay. That's a good question to ask. First off, one must analyze the title given to the Western Hemisphere by people of the Eastern Hemisphere. And what I mean by that is that everyone calls this part of the world, the New World. Why? Why do they, when Christopher Columbus came over here, they called it the New World? Because in terms of antiquity, and when we use the word antiquity, we're talking about BC, before Christ, before any Judaic religion had any assimilation of human history in terms of relevancy and geography. The oldest known civilizations were coming out of East Africa. Okay, now our brothers and sisters that came over here have no true history in antiquity because the Olmecs didn't get here till 1500 BC. I'm freestyling. You can look it up, but they don't precede 2000 BC. Now you can go to Peru, and Peru is in South America, and you may find a 1800 BC type of time period. But the point I'm making is simply this. What separates Africans from all other cultures, races, and ethnicities is that we are the first people to smelter iron. I'm going to say that again. We are the first people to smelter iron and have true metallurgy. So we've been smeltering iron longer than some races. And when you study any Aboriginal Native American in North America, they did not have knowledge of smeltering until the Europeans came. The only Native Aboriginal ethnic group that had knowledge of smeltering iron were those in Peru, and they were in South America, in the highlands, in the mountains.
And so my question would be, why is iron smelting important, Mikara? You hear me?
Hey, EP family.
All right, brother Griff, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I heard Bro Meckenraw too.
Okay, no doubt. What's good with you?
Attacking you? Yeah. I told you she bites.
No, she don't. Just maintaining, man. Just maintaining. Looking forward to the build. You know what I'm saying? They got a nice piece they put in last night. I mean, what was that, Thursday? That's a beautiful build. Y'all all laid down some nice positions, man. Very nice positions, very relevant, and the information was logical, and to me it was logical and digestible. Where you really couldn't really digest it, is if you kind of like you might have to, you know what I mean, start at a lower level. It was pretty simple for fundamentally sound cast. It was simple information, but it was well laid down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to building night, like, you know what I'm saying, like the bro was saying with the archives, man. You know, the family really got to get up to speed on some shit, and the archives is right there for the rest of the family, whoever really ain't hip to how to, you know, how they lay the blueprint for the FOG, whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Plus, I mean, you got the master teachers works on there. You know what I'm saying? You got automatics in the files. You know, that's just an addition to what, you know, the actual core family be bringing to the table. You know what I'm saying? So you get some of the real elders that's dropping some gems on there like that. Ain't nobody charging. You ain't got to pay nothing to get on here. You know what I'm saying? No fee.
Right?
Goddamn.
Ain't nobody charging, right?
Ain't no donation. You ain't got to give a friendly love donation and all that good shit.
Right. Easy.
Right. But yeah, AEP family, I'm here to build with the fam. So whenever you're ready, let me know what I'm saying. I'm rocking with y'all.
Brother Griff said no love donation. Yo, man, you know what's funny about that? I never been good at asking for nothing, you know what I'm saying? And so when the first time I heard somebody say love donation, I had no clue what they was talking about, man. I thought it was going to be like hugs, everybody going to give each other hugs and shit, you know? It came out of pocket. I was like, oh, that's why they use the word love, you know? Because if they just said donation.
You know what I'm saying? Just tell niggas you charging, bro. Like, why you just on the flip, you know what I'm saying? The vernacular, the slick vernacular, like, bro, be charging. You know what I'm saying? But,
oh, man.
You know what I mean? They come to the community like the event is free. And then they end up, you know what I'm saying, tapping niggas in the dome piece, man. Which
yeah, man, and I
love
free events.
Bad. Okay, if you had an event and it served its purpose, you know what I'm saying, I can respect the fee with a certain level of like Born was saying, nigga, if you gave the people something tangible, I can feel that shit, but you just left them with some hopes, you know what I'm saying, ideologies that they can't work. Why would you be expected to be paid for that? Like, you really ain't give them no service. A book, a shirt, something, like you ain't leaving with nothing tangible, just an ideology. You know what I'm saying? Something to get them to come back.
Exactly. Nothing tangible.
Yo.
What you say, fam?
I was gonna jump to a quick topic. Yo, y'all seen that movie Black Klansman?
Yeah.
Okay.
You seen that movie Black Klansman?
Oh yeah.
Oh hell nah. I saw it. Nah, I ain't see that dumb shit. I should have probably watched it. There probably was some quick shit in there, but you know, the title just turned the nigga off, so you don't even. Like, man, I ain't got time for that shit. But go ahead. I ain't peep it.
Yeah, yo, that's what it took me a minute to check the movie because I really didn't know what it was. I know what they said it was about, but I was like, damn, let me not watch this shit and it fucking turn out to be something I'm gonna hate. Like, but I ended up liking the film. But the movie played to the ignorance of white folks, you know. And the crazy thing about it is, you got the black man who wants to be a police officer. Well, he's a police officer. Now, he done infiltrated the Black Panthers. And then you know how we playfully as black folks, we can imitate white people's voices and shit. Well, the nigga did the shit, and then he got the KKK believing he's a white man, but they needed a physical white body to play him.
Y'all clear. She about y'all ate.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
So I'm watching the movie and I'm saying, well, the nigga working for white folks. And he's pretending to be a white person and he's getting a lot of respect from the white police officers. And then on the flip side, he's getting a lot of respect from the white KKK. So you can see where white people was unified and a nigga was a monkey in the middle at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In some ways, he got lucky because either side really could have turned on him. Well, not necessarily the KKK side, but the police officers. I just thought that was an odd movie, man.
That's what I was about to say. Like, you know, a lot of times that shit have a backdrop, a psychological backdrop where it be a whole. You can basically take the film and break it down from several different angles and be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Where they trying to push a greater agenda with the slick, you know what I'm saying? With the so like what is the Black Klansman like? Just the title alone, you know what I'm saying? With that, what is that sound like? Some shit like basically a house nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? Sambo.
Yep. Absolutely.
So I think, that's why I ain't even watched the movie, because I'm like,
yo, I see him. You know what? I see him as a double Black Klansman. Because the police is the Klan, and the crackers that's not police is the Klan. You know what I'm saying? How could you tell the difference in the 60s, man?
Well,
Right.
my thing is like, what the fuck? What was the movie about? Like, what role did the dude play? What types of behaviors was he exhibiting? Under what types of situations? So
he was a rookie. He was a proper ass nigga, rookie cop, ambitious.
First off, it's a Spike Lee joint, right, brother Cause?
And it's a Spike Lee joint, yeah.
Okay.
that right there is that radar is up. You know what I'm saying? And what type of movie is that? Like, I don't know. Go ahead, break it down, though.
So he's a rookie cop, and he's real ambitious, and so they trying to nail the KKK, right? They trying to infiltrate them, and what's his name? David Duke. That shit is stupid. The movie got a lot of dumb shit in it, man. So anyway,
is it, when you watching it though, does it remind you of a traditional Spike Lee joint and shit? You feel me?
You know what? You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the it's what 30 or 40 years too late. The rebuttal to the spook who sat by the door.
Wow. And you know what's funny? It's funny because to me, I'm like, motherfucking Spike Lee's the Black Klansman and shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, these motherfucking Don King ass niggas and shit. These niggas that basically see themselves as being able to access them circles as long as they're able to get the right economic status, but don't understand like
right.
You a nigga, you can, you know what I'm saying? You can be on the perimeter and shit, getting a good peripheral IDing some motherfuckers, but you ain't about to be shaking hands and rubbing elbows with Master, man. That ain't never been allowed, unless that's what Master wanted. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to show his nigga up. Like, hey, look, Jim, show him what you do here, boy. Like that. But as far as like actually by equals, nah, that's forbidden. That's prohibited.
Yeah, man. I look at it as the rebuttal to the spook who sat by the door, because rather than the nigga get the training and bring it back to his people, hell, or even get information, period, because he had infiltrated the Black Panther Party, you know what I'm saying? And he wasn't even like a ill nigga, like he was a square, you know? So instead of him doing the training, like the spook who sat by the door, he did the training with the CIA and so forth, and then he brought it back to the community and still played a low profile. This nigga right here, he actually wanted to work with the white folks based on him having an opportunity for, it looked like, future advancement. That's really what it ended up being. You know what I'm saying? But he was never really fully committed to the black side of things. Like, even though he infiltrated the Black Panther Party, he was the biggest skeptic of his own people and shit.
And you know the funny part? I want to get your take on this real quick, Mekaran. Like, tell me, like, what do you think about the role of cats, like, sort of like what you're talking about, but like these W.E.B. Du Bois type Negroes throughout, you know what I'm saying, the plight of black people?
I mean, W.B. Du Bois kind of represents the. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Nah, I'm saying as in the context of as you view their role in African liberation. And people now they still speak on Du Bois even with high, with a little bit of high, you know what I'm saying, with high grandeur and shit. Even with, you know, I've heard Dr. Clark speak on him and said basically if you took him and
Booker T.
I forgot
Washington.
my Booker T. Him and Booker T today would be, you know what I'm saying, like a dynamite tandem, taking each of both of their strategies as far as, you know what I'm saying, foundational concepts for living there.
Yeah, I'll take the same approach that Dr. Clark did, meaning they both were trying to come up with solutions to our problems in terms of how we need to be focusing in the future. Both of them assess, you know, Booker T. Washington said we need to be focusing on the literary sciences, the language arts, and so forth, and history. Whereas Booker T was more practical in terms of we need to be, you know, getting into agriculture, engineering, things of that nature. My position has always been
solid infrastructure. Mm-hmm.
Right. My position has always been that an African in America, needs to have both talents. He needs to have something with his mind he can get paid for, or he can benefit from, and he needs something that his hands can make and get paid for. You see what I'm saying? So I agree with saying that. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
But the reason I brought that up is because Booker, like, WEB get looked over though when he really, like, he basically undermined what Garvey was doing. So I really don't look to him with any type of to me he you know what I mean, he sold his he sold his people out. And so I can't really, even the little good that he might have done, I'm like, even trying to hear that, like, that's supposed to be swiftly, like, dealt with. Treason is, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's my position. I can't.
You're not alone. You're not alone. But what's important?
I'm like,
you're not, brother. You're not, because what's important to, in my opinion, what's important to understand when you're looking at this conjecture in history is that what changed the game was that both Booker T
cut out, Stu. You there, Famo?
Yeah, he might have fell off for a sec. I was gonna add on to what you're talking about though. Yo, I have read Booker T. Not Booker T. I read Du Bois before I knew some of the conduct against Garvey. And so I had already read the Miseducation of the Negro, and then I started reading this book by Du Bois called Africa. It might have been just titled Africa, but it had to do with the migration of our people on the continent. And then I read some Garvey, and I'm like, then I found out about, you know, what role Du Bois played in Garvey's, you know, being marginalized.
Cause.
Yeah.
And do you know the funny part? He was the first Black Klansman. One of the first. I gonna say he was one. And it's funny you brought the movie up.
You said that.
That's what we talking about. And I got right to the dude. He was the first Black Klansman. He was basically the first CIA and shit, spy and shit.
That's deep. Playing both sides, right? Playing both sides.
Say what now? Yeah.
I was just saying the cause. It's funny that he talking about. I brought up W.E.B. Du Bois. He brought up the Black Klansman. I said W.E.B. Du Bois was the first one of the first Black Klansmen. For real, the nigga did some serious damage, bro. Some very serious damage. In hopes to actually lead. Go ahead.
Yeah, he played both sides very well. That's what I'm saying. I didn't know
in the position of leadership so he can run his little Renaissance bullshit they was trying to run. So they was deliberately getting rid of Garvey, because the white man said, "Listen, we need Garvey to fuck up out of here, because if he take our niggas from us, we going under. So that shit can't fly." So you need to get the fuck in there, do what you got to do. We'll put you on the top, or you take them down to Renaissance Avenue. We'll put you on the head of it, fund y'all. They're supposed to get $1 million after they got rid of Garvey. Back then, that was big bread. This is according to Baba Steve Coakley. Supposed to be able to split up like $1 million or something like that. I gotta check that. That number. But that
See,
was big money back then. Even.
it was the Brit.
Go ahead.
See, it was the British that had more oversight when it came to Garvey than the Americans. Why? Why would you say that, McRaw? Because, first off, the British, at this point in history, they're overseeing various colonies, whereas the Americans are barely dealing with the American colony and the relationship with slavery. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Nah, I mean you is, but give it a little more detail, just a little more, just from my
meaning
context. Yeah.
Meaning that it was the Americans that got a phone call from the British telling them, "Hey, you're gonna have to get rid of Marcus Garvey." You see the point I'm making? The Americans didn't see Marcus Garvey coming.
Mama called about to her children, said, "No, grab that." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That ain't working right there. I don't like that play. Yeah. Handle that. Basically, handle that.
And when he was deported and tried and went to jail,
falsely convicted.
As you said.
His whole trial was rigged up. His whole trial was rigged from the judge to the goddamn witness. Everybody.
He was still able to go to Britain, though, huh?
Yep. Huh? Facts. That's true.
I ain't never met a criminal convicted and tried for fraud of defrauding of people, but still have passport clearance to go to England. And I think Marcus Garvey died in England. Am I right?
I think so.
You might check it. I may be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I apologize. But yeah, look up more. Where
London,
Marcus
you're right. I
Garvey
think he did
died.
die in London. You're right. He died in London, I believe. Yeah. Let me just make sure. I'm almost sure, but he did die in London.
The British said, we got this. We've been dealing with this a little longer than y'all. We'll handle it. We've been dealing with this a little longer.
Marcus Garvey died on June 10, 1940. Marcus Garvey died in West Kensington, London.
Yep, London, United Kingdom, West Kensington, on June 10, 1940. Probably was murdered for real. While we talking about dog, they really did murder him.
See what I'm saying?
They banished the nigga so he couldn't get no type of support and do nothing for his people. So that was death by isolation and shit. Cut him out the
Feel
game.
me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say when I read Du Bois' book on African migration, and then I later read Chancellor Williams, it don't hold water. It don't hold no weight compared to Chancellor Williams.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the
Du Bois shit and Chancellor Williams joint.
Yeah, the two they seem to, the goal is to achieve the same thing, but only one really did it, and that's Chancellor Williams. Because Chancellor Williams was dealing with the cultural day-to-day interactions and the human aspect of African culture during the span of what we know to be the destruction of African civilization. Du Bois took, to be honest with you, Du Bois had the European perspective as if he was just taking notes through observation, not interaction. And so there's a lot that's lost in that. He might be talking
so this shit
about.
Was mostly theoretical. He was
It was arrogance.
Yeah, it was arrogant. Yeah.
As far as it's arrogance as far as what?
Look at the language he used regarding Booker T. Washington, and then look at the language he used to describe Marcus Garvey.
Yeah. He basically like, you uneducated fools. I've been to the finest universities. There's no way you could know even a fucking
Right.
of what the fuck I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It came off as very arrogant. Yeah, it came off as very arrogant.
And
Bourgeois.
his whole premise was basically, y'all niggas ain't been to the white man's school. Y'all motherfuckers can't fuck with this, and didn't have no clue what the fuck he was. Well, I ain't gonna say no clue. The shit he was trying to apply is not in an African-centered context. No way. You know what I'm saying? Not from what I know.
Absolutely.
Right. Exactly. I agree with that. Yeah. Yeah.
The ideologies were solid, but they weren't African-centered, and so you playing the white man's game once again, bro.
Yeah, and when that happens, your ass is gonna be. When that happens, a black man's gonna be regurgitating exactly what the white man taught him, word for word.
Right.
They try to
and
put
what's
it in
important to
blackface.
keep in mind,
There
was
the
no
Black Klansman again.
To some extent, yeah, because there was no African-centered educational thought at that point in history. You see what I'm point? You see what I'm saying? You had the basis
Family.
for individuals saying, we need to have a curriculum for us, or we need to have a more black-centered form of thinking, which will reflect our educational methods. But you didn't have no, as we know it now. So that's the emphasis, and they really give
Hold on.
insight.
Say that again, brother Macaron. Say that one more time.
You didn't
That was a
have
beautiful
an
stuff.
African educational back then. What we did have was the basis, the basic glue of what will later be considered to be Afrocentric education. But it came from a time where it did not exist. So the reference frame that W.E. Du Bois came from, and how it was interpreted by other Africans in the diaspora, was one of arrogance. And like Brother Carl's.
Yeah, because if you throw out there Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson, right? And the same, that's around the same
but
time frame.
When you say when you saying arrogance though, family, what is this arrogance we speaking about? Because that's a broad fucking term, man. And what I see Garvey was doing was not out of arrogance. I seen him following orders, bro. You know what I'm saying? What I see as arrogance is like, nigga, I know that the power structure is behind me. Therefore, none of you niggas can touch me. I'm with the talented 10. See, that's a whole different type of persona than just saying arrogance. Like, you're boosted up from the support of this power structure, so you feel into your mind, ain't you, nigga, I'm above the law.
Yeah, he could actually play Black Authority.
Man, and get the support of the system to do it, because that's what they did. They funded him to go ahead and undermine Garvey. They funded him with $1 million. So he started a whole campaign against Garvey. This wasn't this nigga's a monkey. Making noises. This nigga basically took it was a power play, man. Working with J. Edgar Hoover, working with the whole power structure to take Garvey out, man. This was a super duper power. He was the first black fucking spy. These niggas was the first fucking CIA. This is first COINTELPRO, bro. This is the first niggas. This is the first group of black men that were weaponized, man, to go in and break down that movement. First time in history, man, where they got it in that type of dynamic. This was a slick hit, man. This was a slick move. This was not he just talked against them. Nah, bruh. They gave this man it was a whole operation, man. And he had all the tools and elements he needed. Him, and it was Baba Coakley named him, and a couple other cats that were working together. They was all spies. They was the first fucking CIA, bro. This is where you get the boule from. These are the first niggas that got put together by the power structure to Lock on the game. Very deep right there, man. Critical. That's critical shit. So when niggas talking about Du Bois like you could squeeze some fucking juice out of a peanut, man, on this nigga, man, fuck this nigga, man. Du Bois should not be held in no high regard, man. He took out one of our finest kings, man. No regards for this dude, bro. Not in my book. But that's all I need to know about this shit. I don't give a fuck everything else. See that this is bad.
Nah, I'm listening. I'm just listening. I hear you, Griff.
Bro, man, these niggas set Garvey up, man. I'm looking at this shit. It said Garvey died at the age of 52, bro. He was a young man still.
Yeah, he was young.
Garvey died
young.
at 52. He had 2 strokes. They basically got this nigga isolated to where he could not galvanize and his people, man. He could not organize and galvanize his people, man. And these niggas put, huh? Okay, bro,
My bad,
man, and he had 2. They said he died in after having 2 strokes at the age of 52. You know what I'm saying?
Who that?
And he fucking Garvey, man.
See?
At the age of 52, after suffering 2 strokes, man. And these niggas living like fat rats, going over to Ghana like they got some, you know, they got monuments to these clowns, man. There should be no monument for motherfucking E.B. Du Bois in Ghana, man. They got a lot of shit named after this nigga. Like, he did some shit. He did some foul shit. There shouldn't be nobody bigging up this dude, man. Shouldn't be no reason to big this dude up, man. In my book.
I mean, he has his flaws, but you got to take it from the you have to judge him in the light of the time that he came from. He was just a nigga in America. He didn't know international history.
Mac and Rod, did you hear what I said? These was the first CIA black agents, man. These were the first.
You can say that. You can say that, but
I'm just
there
saying.
was no CIA.
So niggas knew. No, but I'm saying
there was no America. There was no unified America in existence at this time. He thought what he was doing was right for black people. We have to judge him in that light.
You think that?
But he didn't have an international. He didn't have it because look at the position he took. He could have just stayed quiet and been a house nigga.
Bro,
you see the point I'm making? Now,
but I hear what you're saying. Him turning stakes was this. Okay, they promised this nigga a nice little proposition. As soon as Garvey got played and faded, as soon as they put Garvey away, bro, they said, man, fuck you, nigga. We ain't giving you shit, bitch ass nigga. Now he's hurt because the motherfucking power structure that he collaborated with to get rid of Garvey pissed in his motherfucking face. And so now he's like, oh, you bitch ass now, fuck you, motherfucker. Huh?
Brother Griff, he was infatuated with Garvey. He didn't see Garvey coming.
He thought he had a clear path, clear lane.
Yeah. He didn't see Garvey coming.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
And
he
what
didn't
context?
see Garvey coming. Because
as far as what? He didn't think Garvey was going to be able to galvanize that much thing?
He didn't know. He couldn't see. It's not like history and the media was not like how it is now, right? He thought he was the leading arbitrator of promoting African political social agenda in America.
Why?
Right?
Yeah, he was the premier. Yeah, he was the premier.
He was the because it was only him.
Who put him? Who made him the premier nigga though? Where he getting his power from? Where he getting his steam from?
He didn't have any power. Listen to what I'm saying. Imagine.
Go ahead.
We didn't.
Who told this nigga he was the premier nigga? Huh? Not my fault for stepping on your wisdom. I'm saying where would he get that he was the premier motherfucker of that day, that time? He ain't had no competition. He was the leader. Like where he get this where this come from? Where he get sanctioned at? Was he jockeyed by the people? Like, well, you there, Rebecca Rod? You still on the line?
I was gonna say, could we say he was the Henry Louis Gates of his time?
My thing is this: who put this nigga on the scene, bro? He got funded. His Harvard education. He was a smart.
Hey, he was a. Think about scholarship, right? Under European system, and being a high achiever. You know?
Man, listen, I hear you. I'm hearing you.
How many? I would say, think about his time. How many Negroes was in the same class as him? You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, cause that's my whole point. He was a creation of the system. He was an experiment. He was the first black spy, bro, on black people.
He might not have. So you're saying it in the context of he might not have known it.
Knew what he was doing. He knew what he was there to do, bro. He's Boulay. Them niggas got seasoned and prepared and trained to be the Boulay. Is the they said that they were built. The foundational concept of the organization was to interpret, to basically imitate a black version of the Skull and Bones, man. That's what the fucking Boulay was, bro. This is coming from Baba Coakley. These niggas was not they just happened to be in the power in the limelight. Bro, these was hand-picked motherfuckers, man. These niggas got trained and put to the game and said, you're going to be the niggas at the head of the joint because we want you to push it this way, okay? And so we're going to give you the money to debase this motherfucker's operation, and you're going to be the new top dogs here, man, okay? And you're going to do exactly and make your people move on the exact pace where we want them to. So that was the layout, man. Wasn't no bullshit about no educated nigga, this and that. That nigga was a spy. They put him in spy school, man. And he was their first fucking agent, man. And the niggas he was with, and I'm going to have to go pull up Baba Coakley's info because he got the shit all laid out.
Yeah.
Some of these motherfuckers' families still in power right now. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the other guy. I ain't gonna start talking no hogwash and shit. I'm gonna get the facts.
Nah, I got you, Griff. But even just to kind of support your point a little bit, I'd say it's not that it ain't even a possibility because we know, especially around that time, you had a high output of white trained black people across genres, not necessarily just education and stuff, but in medicine and religious theology and a lot of other areas too. So again, that was going down at that time, you know. They was putting out their best.
That's why Coakley is so vital at times like this, man. Because we just getting rehashed. We getting motherfuckers that's rehashed from the same. They out the same bloodline, man. All these motherfuckers is family. We're looking at the grandchildren and the great grandchildren of these motherfuckers, man, in the same little political positions, bro. I guarantee you, Conyers and these motherfuckers, man. You look at their family, man. They go away. They go back.
Oh, you had to say Conyers in them, right? That motherfucker do look like he related to
Man, them is the bootleg, them is the brown paper bag niggas, man. That's why I'm saying when you start talking about Dubois, man, you gotta know your shit. This nigga was the top flight first black CIA agent, man. That is fucking huge. If you understand what's going on, what went on with that, man, that's huge, man. Can't even look past that and be like, yeah, but he did this. Motherfucker, did you hear what we just told you? This is the first echelon of COINTELPRO into the black community. They got funded. They were given a budget to take Garvey down, man. They got a budget, $1 million budget in the 1900s, bro, in the early 1900s. Some fuck money that is. And they promised them a couple more million to split up between them if they could get rid of them. Once they got rid of Garvey, man, the crackers was like, get you fucking piece of shit, fuck up out of here. And you just fucking threw your whole people's future off fucking track. You derailed the whole movement with that shit. And then you got niggas going to quote, go say some shit about Du Bois now. He wasn't shit, man. He was the problem. And then even Garvey said, the problem to the black people is going to be the college-educated Negro is going to be the biggest problem to black people's advancement as a group. He was hit dead on the head, and this is in the 1900s. Biggest threat to black people advancing is going to be the college-educated Negro. Why would he make a statement like that? People moving too fast, man. For real, man, we moving so fast, we forgetting just the little small shit that niggas have to understand. Black people got to understand type of shit you dealing with, man. This ain't no lucky roll of the dice type shit. Motherfuckers is running train systems on you, bro. Been doing this shit for hundreds of years. And so you have to start to get an understanding about how these paradigms came into being before all of this niggas start kicking all this fluff. You know what I'm saying? And not that it ain't relevant, but it's got to be put in the proper context, man, to make the rubber hit the road, so we ain't having to backtrack. Because basically, you got the same thing happen now. You got your Du Boises out there right now, modern day Du Boises. Even when brother when brother Bourne was running for the alderman over there, they came out on his ass in Connecticut when he was running for the alderman. He started to see who the players was, like, y'all, the churches and shit. Man, they there to keep the fucking hood in squalor, man, and usurp the money. The money's getting sent there. They're not going to access the bread unless they can control how the money's going to be spent and allocated. And they'll let the people starve while this shit is going on. And then when they get the money, they just be trickling it out. A little here, a little there. Trickling that shit out to who they wanted to go to if they followed this particular paradigm and agenda, but they have no real intention on seeing the black community thriving again because they won't have a fucking job. They won't be getting the millions no more. So the whole systematic construct is getting played out real time today, just as it got played out when Du Bois and them was running this shit as the very first surveillance teams to come into the black community. It is what it is.
Yo, you know what's something about what you said? Something about what you said was it's kind of sticking out is, or something Mikra mentioned. For the CIA to not be around didn't mean that they weren't in the process of building what became that. You know what I'm saying? Because the white man's agenda has always been suppression, right?
Control. Using suppression as a tactic, one of the tactics, suppression. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, suppression. Suppression is one of those things. You want to suppress as much as you can and limit the amount of overt putting yourself out there that you got to do. You know, by the time you can't, when you get to the point where you can't suppress, but so much, you build an institution because of the capacity. You need increased capacity to manage the shit.
Here's the thing, though, Cause, you on point. What better way to control the group than from within their own group and shit? And so that's why it was so devastating for them to be the first CIA agents, Du Bois and them to be the first CIA. Okay? And that's
you know what? You say, hey, what Du Bois, what he did to Garvey, right? The same tactics was replicated with the Black Panthers.
On every goddamn black organization that they went after.
From the Mel Frost shit, from the whole thing.
Again,
they replicated they replicated that specific instance you mentioning. They replicated that with everybody after the fact. And so, you know, it's funny, the cracker is a creature of habit. He'll do the same thing over and over and over again. He's a fucking, what is that called? what kind
One
of
dimensional and shit.
Yeah, he only got one fucking. He a one trick. Yeah, he a one trick motherfucker, yo. One trick horse.
One trick pony. He a one trick pony.
Yeah, one trick fucking pony. Hey, that speaks to why we got 5 Spider-Man #1 movies and shit out there spanning 40 years and shit.
He said he a one trick pony.
Yeah, he a fucking one trick pony. So he gonna use the flaws. He gonna use what was. He only gonna use what's worked for him.
All he gonna do is refine that same process. But yeah, the shit working so lovely, he like fuck it. You know what I'm
I'm gonna just add this on and take this little bit away. Yeah.
Gotta switch this shit up, niggas.
And
Niggas ain't making nothing straight.
Let me speak to that real quick, right? Him being a one-trick pony and using the same methods over and over again, that's what allows for niggas to be able to backtrack and review history to see the flaws in what the fuck's been told versus what happened.
Yeah, because this nigga only got one
trick.
story.
It's the same trick.
Yeah.
It's the same trick. So if you're going back 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and you see this trick happening, you're able to separate where the modification occurred. You get what I'm saying?
You know what's funny? You saying that though? That's exactly the strategy that Walter Williams used when he sees like, man, once you go back so far, you can see where the lie started because the whole story changed at that point. And so that's how I know that what they saying don't exist. And so a lot of these people that we thinking, just Hannibal and all that, people still think Hannibal existed. I've heard black scholars that still be quoted. And I'm not saying that they're wrong, but according to what Dr. Walter Williams is saying, how could he read them out of history and you read them into the motherfucker?
Yeah.
His research so thorough, he read a motherfucker out of history. You still quoting shit and you read them into history. Now, whose research are you checking out? Are you doing cross-referencing? Are you doing the proper styles of analyzing, you know what I'm saying, particular time period?
People, places, and things, right?
Man, a lot of what he's saying, that's how he's able to eliminate Socrates and all this because there wasn't no writing back then. So how could these motherfuckers have wrote this and wrote that? It's lies, dude. First alphabet, 10,000 BC, the Africans bring it in. Motherfucking Greeks wasn't writing no shit. We gave them an alphabet. So, again, people still quoting a lot of this historical propaganda, man. And like you said, the one constant is this. The power structure, the white little shit, they constantly lying to maintain power and keep people confused and shit. So lies and deception and propaganda, that's part of the way they keep power. So the one thing you can count on is they're never gonna give you the fucking truth. That's what you can count the fuck on.
Yeah. You can guarantee that.
Guarantee motherfucking T. But again, I'm falling. Man, Du Bois and them motherfuckers was dangerous, man. You see, gotta be careful, man. Sometimes, even when I used to hear Bob Clark speak of Du Bois's being, I ain't gonna say some of his concepts wasn't ingenious. I'm talking about this dude's character, man. I can't rock with that. Them niggas got Garvey. I can't look at myself and embrace no motherfuckers like that. You know what I'm saying? I had to always hold the line for the G. And just to imagine, where would we be had Garvey still been here, bro? You know what I'm saying? It would have been a whole different playing field. It would be all the way different globally. It would be all the way different globally. That's the crazy part. And so for Meccaron saying like London, that was a direct call for Mama Bear out to her cub, get rid of him. They understood the magnitude of Garvey. And then during Garvey's reign was when they put in the FBI files after they got Garvey's, when, Gay Edgar Hoover comes up with the Black Messiah, stopping the rise of a Black Messiah. Now that's powerful shit right there, man. Why was he using this type of terminology? That's very powerful shit to stop the rise.
Yeah,
of Black Messiah.
It's deep. They use the term Messiah, and Garvey was looked at as a form of a Messiah.
Why is he saying black though? Why he ain't saying the Asian Messiah, the motherfucking Puerto Rican Messiah?
That's what I'm saying. I was gonna say that Garvey is the prototype for what a black Messiah is in America, based on who defined that term and what they did it for.
But here, check this out though, cause why would they use the term black? What does black have to do with being a Messiah? Why didn't they call out another race? So that must mean, in my mind, these people must know something about us that we might not know about ourselves.
Well, I would even go as far as to say they already got a taste of it with Garvey.
And I would agree with you.
How many?
Look,
how many Marcus Garveys can America afford to have walking around?
I mean, how many can they not? Really, when you look at it, they want a Garvey that they can. They want a Garvey that they can control. That's what they're looking for, power. So they use charismatic individuals as tools to be able to control the masses. Sometimes their group, sometimes your group, sometimes a multi-faceted,
multi-ethnic
amount of groups. You know, they got certain people that transcend racial lines and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to why sports and all that shit is very important. Because everybody cheering for the motherfucking black. The black man is the greatest thing in the world behind a sports franchise. He's the king, and they give you a LeBron on that tip. But what do they know about this dude that we don't know? If they could galvanize all their resources behind this cat and ride this cash cow out, what does LeBron not know about himself? That motherfuckers would take all their money and bet it on him, but he wouldn't do the same.
How about this? I heard Amos Wilson say, I was listening to Amos Wilson today. He said, yeah, people might look at the black man as not being capable of being president. He said, but that doesn't mean the black man is not capable of ruling the world. It's two different realities that he can define one for himself, or he can let someone else define it for him.
Mm-hmm.
And so, within what you're saying, what he doesn't know about, what LeBron might not know about himself in the context of a black man, and what kind of energy and wealth and other things he can bring, is he has the capacity to be a king in the context of world leader. You know what I'm saying?
Check this out. Check this out. Man. No, go ahead. Say what you're saying. My fault, bro.
Yeah, and instead of being just the leader of the white man's bubble. You know, because even when you hear them talk about what's the nigga gonna do after basketball, right? It's got nothing to do. It's got everything to do with wealth building and working with crackers. To make more money than he can make playing basketball.
I'm gonna show you something though, real quick. Cause I was listening to this boxing video. And I'm gonna break this. This is relevant to what we saying. It was about Wilder and shit, right? It was like, yo, this dude made a video. He was like, even Shelly Finkel, Wilder's manager, is saying that the dude ain't ready yet. He's saying he's not ready. He's young. He's still a rookie. He's trying to get himself together. Like he's becoming a great fighter, but he's not ready yet. He's like, now. So what do you think? You think Joshua was scared to fight this dude? And I said, man, listen to this. I said, listen to this dude. This dude is silly. He don't even understand how the Tomahawk work his mind game. So here's my comment on to his video. I said, Finkel trying to milk Wilder's earning potential, like all small hats do. He markets Wilder as the warrior he is. Wilder won't get the big fights. That's why Joshua is on the run. Then I said, plus, Finkel doesn't want Wilder to recognize his earning potential, because he might ask for a bigger cut of that dough, flat out. So, you know,
he might change management.
listen, you dig it? So I can't come in here telling this motherfucker he the greatest thing since sliced cheese, man. I got to make him think that without me, he won't be able to get these shit done. And that's how you keep a motherfucker in your pocket. So you ain't never supposed to big a motherfucker. It's just like a pimp with a hoe. You keep that bitch thinking she doing just enough for out there on the strip. And she need me. Because without me, she wouldn't be shit. And so he never builds her up totally, just enough to make her ride the train comfortably and don't fucking kick. You know what I'm saying? Don't resist. Don't get no goddamn you know what I mean? Don't give me no problems and shit.
Yeah.
So motherfucker ain't gonna never tell you your true value, nigga. And don't nobody wanna fuck with Wilder. And I'm just using that as a way to show how
no, but that's
a
that's a good analogy, man. Yeah, that's
like
clear.
why LeBron
That's
ain't
clear.
trying to get his own league. They make LeBron think if you ain't with Nike or with this, Nike gave this dude in 2010 or 2009. No, that was even before that. I gotta look at the contract. Anyway, early 2000s, they gave LeBron a fucking Nike deal for rumored to be over $1 billion. This is 2004. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure on that. They gave this nigga a contract. Nike did a lifetime contract rumored to be worth over $1 billion. Now, what does this motherfucker know about you? About yourself? That this motherfucker would pay. You barely fucking 20-something years old. This motherfucker give you $1 billion contract for the rest of your life.
I gotta say, fast forward to now, the nigga condition is impeccable. He ain't never been injured and shit.
Hey, he's a hell of an investment. How could they afford to let him go down?
Yeah.
We talking about how much he spends on his body. How much you think his owners spend on his body?
Exactly. How much do its owners spend on his body?
You feel me?
That nigga,
you my dog. You my biggest cat.
That nigga probably gets to test. He probably gets to test out every new training fucking mechanism and anything that come out, man.
And I'm not going to negate the fact that his genes, just them African genes alone, they wouldn't waste their time investing that shit into a white dude because they knew he don't have the genes for some of the technology that they probably using on him.
Yeah, they're using, yeah.
He don't have the, you got to have, it's just like, remember when they did the experiment on fucking Wolverine? They was like, man, why him? The dude was like, nobody else could withstand the goddamn operation. No other X-Men could take the pain and go through the fucking process to get this shit grafted in his ass. He's the only one that could withstand it, that'll survive it. Anybody else would die from it.
Right.
So when they get, man, they know what the type of motherfuckers they need, man. They know the exact prototype. They know the prototype for get the real shit, and they know the prototype for the generic shit. When they come out with these motherfucking pharmaceuticals, why they always make a generic brand and then they make a top shelf? If this shit is the cure, you know what I'm saying? If this is the medicine, it's the medicine. Why would you make a knockoff brand?
Right.
But then you got that top flight shit for yourself, though.
Hell yeah. You got the takeoff.
Feel me? But again, you would have to have you know, some of those fucking meds and shit that you take, they can't give them to certain people because their bodies don't have the capacity to resist the side effects. So you can only try this shit out on. You can only try this shit out on a motherfucker who got the genetics to be able to withstand the side effects, so you can see if this shit works or not. So you need you need guinea pigs, man. So you got to take the best, the cream of the crop, though.
Fucking with some movies. Fucking with another movie real quick. That movie Venom that just came out alludes to that. Where they got the symbiote, and it attaches to the humans, but not every human being can take on the black alien and shit.
Black.
You can't.
Yeah.
Not everybody can absorb it.
You dig it?
So that nigga leave a white person body, they body crack up in pieces and shit and contort and break up. You know? They had this one black dude though. Now they had this one black dude in the movie, and that nigga had he had the alien shit, and the melanin was working on normal and balanced and shit.
Feel me? See, they give you little hints. Even in the Get Out shit, bro. Dude was like, whew. Look at this specimen, bro. You be a hell of a fucking MMA fighter. You be a fucking beast, bro.
Right.
But did you see how he was talking to the white boy was talking to him like you stupid as fuck? You don't even know the fucking shit you. Nigga, if I had that friend, you know what I do?
Yeah.
So tight, man. He's like, these motherfuckers we got, and they showing you gotta have that prototype of the African, man. Same shit niggas hate. White people, that's what they love about. That's what they enamored about you. The same shit you hate. Your fucking kinky hair. What make a white motherfucker want to go get some goddamn dreads, bro? Like, the fuck? You know how enamored the motherfucker would have to be for you to do that shit, man? But I guess you can flip it and be like, well, sisters is going to get fucking platinum blonde fucking hair. So then what about it? Okay, nigga, one is, this is after 500 years or thousands of years of motherfucking hardcore psychological trauma and physical trauma. Yo shit, you just saw the thoroughest motherfucker in the game and wanted to imitate that motherfucker. Without no trauma, nigga, ain't nobody had you in chains and shit. So you clearly see what the higher specimen is. We had to be fucked up and put in this position over years and hundreds and decades and decades. You know what I'm saying? Centuries and centuries of all types of trauma and shit to get to where we got to. You just sat back in awe from coming in contact with us and wanted to be on the boat from day one.
Shit, I look at it as the white man seeking an escape from himself, and we're the best way out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, yeah, you could that too. But he knows the prototype who can carry out the mission, man. He knows what he needs, man. He's never, they tried to play the game with, we're just isolate them out, separate them. And when they saw that, bro, they saw black people starting to become a foundational, independent people. We turned within. We didn't turn without. We turned within. And we started to build infrastructure and get the shit done that we're trying to get done now. So they realized segregation and isolation is only going to set them up to achieve. So we got to keep them integrated and watered down and divide, at any angle. Because if we let them just sit back and get all the way tight, man, it's going to be a problem. So, they try to keep that separation. Try to keep the separation through all types of little bullshit as ideologies and shit. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers is get hip to the game, man. But again, to make a fucking FBI edict talking about a black messiah, man, that's some powerful shit. This is at these are the top levels of government, man. They in there talking about this shit. What would make them need? Why would that? And that's in the 1900s. We talk about 1915 and 1927 and shit. Nigga, a white boy in some of the highest offices in the land talking about a black messiah, the rise of a black messiah. Man, it's powerful. That's powerful shit. That's food for thought, man. So when you see black people having all this trouble in this country, you can see that, as Dr. Wilson said, it's a function of the social fabric to keep black people fucked up. It has to happen that way for the system to function properly.
Yeah, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. Yeah,
it would not work. They have to be miseducated. They have to be malnourished. They have to be in poor housing. You know what I'm saying? They have to be marginalized economically, socially, politically.
I was gonna say, any have to believe almost everything white people say.
Or really, they really don't. Guess what? Got the talented 10th for that. And so we'll give you a high-profile group of house Negroes that will they'll dangle these ideologies. And again, boom, we talking about LeBron. Okay? We're talking about his worth. Okay? And how the system overstands his worth greater than he does. Or if he just doesn't have the courage to harness it. Regardless, though, his persona is used by the power structure to lull our babies to sleep, to chase these dreams of being fucking basketball stars and shit, as opposed to having an ideology of making an impact in the black community in another angle. They ain't even thinking about making an impact on the black community at all. They're thinking about how much money they can get from Nike. Can I get $1 billion deal like LeBron got?
Right.
And so,
how to shine more light on their persona, how to build a persona.
You feel me? And so what happens is you get a double-edged sword, because you do get some black youth that have been inspired by some of the things these individuals do, and it makes them look for higher levels of achievement, but there's no African-centered context. And so you got them dreaming. Their highest dream is to be on a fucking sports franchise, the number one player on a sports franchise. Now, you can see how that would work very well for Tamahu and work and keep the African in the position of subordination. And so every time you get any type of galvanization amongst athletes to try to, okay, I think we want to start our own NBA or start our own football league or basketball league, the power structure come down with the hammer.
Yeah, the hammer. Right. They bring the hammer down and they say, "Nah, y'all niggas is playing 3-on-3."
You feel? Hey, you dig? Exactly.
There ain't gonna be no full court.
Hold on.
He'd be like, "There ain't gonna be no fucking full court on my shit. Y'all niggas is playing half court. Figure it out."
Again, and then get you one of them talented 10th and Boulay type dudes, i.e. somebody like an Ice Cube or something of that fashion that came out, with the imagery of, resistance against the power structure. Now he one of the biggest Hollywood stars and tap dancing niggas that you'll ever see in your life. You would never know that was Ice Cube from NWA.
I was gonna say that we'll ever see.
Hey. And so much so, like you said, all this nigga talk about is like basketball now. You know what I'm saying? Like these cats don't even speak of nothing tangible unless, they green light it. And again, that's all good. But so the concept of the bourgeoisie Negro, to give black people the aspiration of trying to reach, that's the highest level of aspiration, to be where the bourgeoisie Negro is. So basically, if you play by the rules and you do this and do that, this is how you get access to these circles. So very dangerous, man. In my opinion, W.E.B. Du Bois and these like I said, Garvey has said it a long time ago. The college-educated Negro is the biggest threat to the black people, and so people got to start thinking about these things, man, and start actually giving some tangible, conceptual energy to breaking that down, because those are easy things to know.
Even I was gonna say, and the thing is, putting a mental energy into thinking of alternatives. A lot of times when we think about alternatives to the things the cracker got locked down and shit, we think of the alternatives as like they gotta happen or be up and running right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
The process of actually like building it doesn't even occur outside of thought, because we figure, well, shit, the cracker already got it in place. If we don't have it in place already, there's no point in building the shit.
No doubt. And that's what did happen. You saying that everybody
institutions like the schools is one of the perfect examples. You know what I'm saying? You got the colleges and so forth, and you got the cracker got everything online too. So there's no way there's no way to avoid access to his database. You know what I'm saying?
No
In
doubt.
the same token, we can conceptualize starting and building our own institutions, right? But we want to start where the cracker is already at. And so I know, and for example, living in the South, the cracker's still building small schools, small colleges, small ass fucking. He's still building small institutions. The goal is to scale the shit up, but you gotta first build the shit. And so I think that's where a lot of our people is missing how institutions are built. They want the instant gratification divine of having this shit already be up and running at a large scale when you gotta scale up. You know?
Yeah. And that's the mistake,
motherfucker. Umar going for the money, right? Umar going for all that money, like this has been spoken on. He goes for the money, but he don't donate no money to smaller institutions, which it really, if he had done that, you're actually right. You're actually lifting up, you're actually setting up the framework for an educational system for black people. But failure to do something like that, at least starting it, means that you're leaving it up to the people who are already doing it to work at their own pace, work at the pace they already at.
Say that one more time, bro. Cause.
No, you're not that the people who ain't already got the things go up and running aren't working at their own pace, but you leave them only with that. You know. Another approach would have been, let's say you get the money, you build multiple small pilot locations around the country. You know what I'm saying? You gotta set a framework. There's no framework. They always talk about niggas lack infrastructure to be self-sufficient in America. You know what I'm saying? And so you gotta build framework to be self-sufficient. Yeah, under
infrastructure to be self-sufficient in America.
Yeah, under white supremacy. You get what I'm saying? And just in America alone. So if you're gonna begin to start that, if you're gonna begin the process of getting up from under it, you can't really even. I'm gonna say this: you can't structure your framework the same way the white man structured his. Because the moment you do it, it's easily recognizable. It's a part of his fucking concept already. We're not saying that we haven't already created it. I'm not saying we haven't already created institutions of our own, or we don't have a history of doing this, that, and the third, and he stole it and he's using our shit. Well, nigga, we creative enough to create some new shit. We need to be, because we can't keep using his toolbox and his tools. You know,
what would make it?
I'm just saying, there's an aspect of the same thing you mentioned about LeBron. We're not even tapping into what we actually have access to within ourselves to make certain moves in a different direction. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, freeze right there, cause that's my whole premise, is that the system acclimates you at a pace where it strips you. At this point, they've refined the science. So at the point they were acclimating LeBron, bringing him from fucking middle school, they scouted this motherfucking middle school, bro. Okay? And at the capacity that they scouted this brother, they made sure as he went through different levels of becoming acclimated to this power structure that he was become all the more distant from his identity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so by the time they reach the levels of heavy stardom, man, they've already put a structure in place around these individuals where they can't have any real political endeavors other than that which the system creates for them. And so they ain't got no voice to really speak out unless they want to give up, the prestige and the little glitz and glamour and shit, and then actually, take a stand where you could possibly be, what I'm saying, viewed as some type of problem for the system, threat to the system, and then they're going, what I'm saying, just annihilate your ability to be able to push any agenda that you would want. But by that time, that's what I'm saying. With the power of your influence, man, you still gonna always have, what I'm saying, ability to be able to make some shit shake. People act like money is the end all be all, bro. Money is many people move for much many other elements out here in life. Money's not the only element that you can move people with. Like, you know what I'm saying? Probably one of the least.
Food. I was gonna say food is the bigger draw than money.
You know what I'm saying? And this is why, try to get people to kind of see, like, bro, motherfuckers be playing chess and you're playing checkers. So when you hearing cats like, talking about getting economics right, bro, the economics has a function within a fucking systematic process. And so just getting you some economics is not going to answer your problems, dude. Because once the economics becomes no longer the, the choice for bartering, what you do with a bunch of green paper now? How do you still push your agenda? And so people have to understand you can't base your agenda around getting money. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a particular style of understanding about politics to be able to use a whole plethora of different bartering tools. You ain't supposed to be trapped into no one fucking bartering tool to get money. And the fact that you can see these athletes and entertainers with getting all this money, bro, they still powerless individuals. They ain't really got no real power. Like, what they doing? You can't really call no major shot, bro. Motherfucker just called y'all a bunch of niggas. Donald Sterling called motherfuckers pretty much my niggas. He just basically said y'all was just slaves, modern day slaves. Y'all couldn't even sit out a game. Them niggas didn't even sit out one fucking game, bro.
Right? They showed right up. They showed up on time, too.
Bro, them niggas didn't even sit out a game. Man, imagine you go to somewhere and you about to do some work for somebody, and he'd be like, hey, nigga, get your fucking tools and pull your shit around back. What you gonna do? You gonna be like, oh, man, I'm gonna get... You feel me? You gonna be like, man, I'm about to get this bread for this motherfucker. Fuck what he talking about. You gonna be like, man... You said what? You might whoop his ass for real. I'm like, what you say? This motherfucker ass. So this motherfucker could call y'all all types of niggas. He said, man, I get these niggas. My niggas live in the best houses. They drive the best cars. What the fuck up? What the fuck is the problem? See, that's why I can't talk to you. He said, listen, baby, it ain't me. This is Donald Sterling talking. I'm paraphrasing. He said it's bigger than me. This is a culture. This is a fucking culture. We don't fucking mix with these niggas. Well, what about Magic? Fuck Magic.
Fuck Magic,
mix
right?
With these niggas. Well, what about Magic? Nigga, fuck Magic. That motherfucker had HIV. This nigga went in like... This nigga said this motherfucker had HIV, sleeping the fuck around every fucking where. How about he fucking controls his fucking self? He's a fucking animal. And Magic's still up in there smiling and shit. It's just so phenomenal. This nigga smiling and shit, beguiling. And Magic you know what I'm saying, as much as he probably getting access to, man, he can't do but so much, man.
Yeah. All he can do is make money, man. All he can do is make money.
Yeah, like even... And all them niggas can do is be high-priced slaves, man. Okay? And ain't nobody hating on it. Get your money, but don't act like y'all motherfuckers is controlling y'all's own shit, man. Y'all subsidiaries of much bigger organizations, man, and just know that. That's why Kobe went right in got into management. Soon as he finished up, he got into management. And like, why? What you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody talking about taking over the. Let one of them motherfuckers try to take over the Lakers operation. Them people will never let that franchise out. They'll never let that franchise out of their family, man. That's a fucking Fairly heirloom, man. That's wealth. They gonna pass that shit on. And I bet you them niggas won't. I bet you that stay in the white family, bro. That shit will not leave them motherfuckers, man.
Hell yeah, that shit ain't about to be the Bobcats, Charlotte Hornets or whatever.
Man, they threw Jordan a bone just because that was Jordan. That was a money play. That was a power play, man. Jordan ain't doing shit over there. You see, when they got him a white.
Let them motherfuckers
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. He went right and got him a white. Man, you know, if I get that much money, man, I'm gonna have so many black queens on my shoulders, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. That nigga got the vasectomy. Jordan got the vasectomy and then went and knocked the white bitch out. He got the vasectomy reversed and went and knocked the bitch out.
You know the funny part though, Cause? After he signed the contract, did he have a choice?
Nah.
After these niggas signed the contract, do they even got a choice? Fucking Magic's son. All this money Magic got his son is a big-ass punk. 6'8", big-ass fucking punk. Big-ass homo. When I say punk, I ain't saying the nigga can't fuck me up, but I'm saying that the nigga's a fucking flaming faggot, man. Homosexual, bro.
Yeah, man. Walking around on tippy toes.
Man, how could you be looking at your life like you accomplished something, bro? They got your firstborn son, EJ, man, and turned this motherfucker into a monster, man. You ain't got no problem with that? Magic, you ain't got no problem with that, bro? So now if this nigga can't really give a fuck about it.
He probably ain't even allowed to have a problem with it.
He might have had to fuck his son in the ass or some shit, as far as we know. Niggas know Magic got a questionable history background.
Yeah, man.
Might be the reason his son is on Tinkle Twinkle Toes. Not to say that he is, but it's possible because in them circles, you already know what goes on.
The circles, the circles. That's what I was about to say, the circles. Yeah.
I wouldn't put it. Bro, this nigga was walking around. Who was that motherfucker that he was under? He had a handler, man. What was his handler, man? Dr. Bus. This nigga was under Bus, bro. Bro, them niggas is CIA and shit, bro. Them motherfuckers was running shit back then. They get niggas in, man. People think CIA and all of that. They think it's all military, man. They don't understand the types of devices they use to just put the blinders over motherfuckers' mental eyes.
Yeah, man. Yo, people don't realize how much administrative work goes into just being a fucking agent.
And the thing is, you basically got license to kill, man. The one FBI agent that did his little testimony when he went in on the Panthers, bro, he was like, bro, they let us murder motherfuckers. We was doing all types of shit, man. He said it on his little YouTube joint for a black FBI agent, man. He said they let him do.
Oh yeah, Darthur Perry, man.
Yeah,
I never forget that motherfucker's name, yo.
See, and so people just kind of fucked up, man. The game is real funny, but as far as the voice in these cats, man, you can't really have motherfuckers there.
Since we still talking about that type of behavior and conduct, we ain't been on the show in a minute, but what about Kaepernick?
In what aspect? What you mean?
All right, and so Kaepernick's getting awards all over the place. He just got a Harvard medal and
all
shit.
Over the place.
And it's funny. It's funny because you know the way niggas be doing shit. He got the cornrows and some, and then he let the fro pop for the other one. And he's trying to he's just trying to balance between those two images. And it's funny how the cracker eating that shit up, yo. Like, they really love this dude. They don't have. They never had a problem with. They never had a problem with Kaepernick.
Not at all. Go ahead. Why you say that?
I'm saying that basically. Yeah, man. Like I look at him, I'm like, yo, there's no way this nigga isn't playing 100% along with this shit.
Man, you remember what?
Yeah,
remember what Brother Little said, man. Huh?
What?
Remember, Brother Little said everybody who on TV getting green lighted, man. So you ain't gonna even hear that
green light
unless they want you to hear it.
Yeah.
You don't even hear this shit unless a motherfucker wanted you to get wind of it. You know what I'm saying? For real. Only way niggas know, if motherfuckers know, is if they wanted you to know. They ain't want you to know, you wouldn't have no clue.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, serious business, man. Serious business. But these athletes and entertainers, man, them are CIA, man. That's first front line, man. They controlling the minds of the people, bro. And so those types of individuals with that much charisma and star power, man, they assets to the power structure, big time. Big time. Like the Dr. J. They needed a Dr. J, man. Here's the funny part. They be needing black athletes to control white people.
Yeah.
You hear me? They need a LeBron to control.
You know why? That's what I was saying. White man looks at us as the white man looks at us as an escape from himself, man. So he be subconsciously owning the niggas. Yo, he be a fan on his couch. The white man will subconsciously think he owns LeBron James, man.
He's not subconsciously thinking anything. He's actually buying into the whole blueprint of
he actually believes it.
He don't believe it, he know it.
Yeah.
He know it. And LeBron know it. That's the killer part. LeBron know it.
Yo, so that plays to how the I don't know if you've seen this movie back in the day. I don't know the title offhand, but it had this black dude who was like a worker for this white family and shit. And the white boy, man, the little white boy be 7, 8 years old, he punked this nigga down and shit, man. Like he was his son and shit.
He didn't. The little boy didn't do anything. It was the social dynamic that was already in place that dictated to that so-called black man what his position and role was, and to the so-called white boy what his position and role was within that social dynamic. And so it was dictated to both of them. Both of them got it dictated to them. But the problem becomes when that becomes the actual social status that the black man is inferior and the white man is superior, and then the black man actually starts to follow that function as if, like you said, that's his own reality. That's when the problem sets in. Like you were saying about what's the name? Like Dr. Wilson was saying, black man can't never be the president of the United States, but does that mean he couldn't rule the world?
Yeah.
And so when you start to set your bar at where your enemy sets his bar for you, the game is over.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening now. The bar is constantly being set for black people. And so you get these LeBrons who can't say shit. You get these Will Smiths that'll do 6 degrees of separation, get butt naked in his first film and lay all up with his nuts around another little white fucking tomahawk and shit and tell him how much he want to fuck him in the ass and all this shit. They got Will Smith in 6 degrees of separation. They got him looking like the goddamn like he turning white people out. Like if it wasn't for him, white people would have been all right. They making him look like he aggressively coming after that cracker in that movie, man. They got him coming after
Yeah.
that cracker like he's the motherfucker bringing that's African culture. He bringing it to them like he don't know. The white boy don't know nothing about it. Like, oh, you fucking ass. Whoa. Why are you saying these things? Like, motherfucker, your daddy said this shit to you. The fuck? You acting like you just hearing it from Will Smith and shit. And the parents is just acting like so God. Like, oh my God, he wants our son. Like, but again, like, you know, and he ain't never looked back. And where's his babies at? For the fame and the stardom, where's his children at? What they do with his children? Just like we talked about Magic and EJ. Then you go to Isaiah Thomas, both his sons is some fags. Like, what's going on here? Then they say one of Michael's boys is a fag. God damn. What are these? Is this a coincidence? Because you would think, coming from the loins of somebody like Mike, his son coming from the loins of him and a black woman, that he would pretty much pattern himself, be, you know, somewhat of a, you know, solid athletes, you know what I'm saying? What have you, you know, chasing the opposite. One thing, I ain't never known Mike to be no fag. I don't know what Magic was doing. I know Magic, I heard he used to be in a lot of, you know, questionable sexual behavior. But some of the people, yeah, and Isaiah was with Magic and shit. So how could you be cool with your son just being a fag, man? Like, I would at least denounce it. Like, listen.
How about it's just I look at it as the extent to which he is too.
Yeah, like just all the way
like
flamboyant.
he's on some old, you know. This nigga is out there with his son wearing the skirt. Like, yeah, this is my son. Fucking proud of this nigga. Proud of him. Isn't that a nice color on him? Doesn't that color look good on him? You know? You hear me?
I'm listening to you. Yeah, I'm listening to you. I just muted myself. Go ahead.
But he's sitting up there. He's sitting up there, public events and shit, and he's sitting there, you know, like, isn't my son beautiful and shit? You know, what the fuck? Come on, man. Isn't that a nice shade of turquoise he's wearing?
Hold on. You said is that? You say that again, Carl. Say that one more time. I thought.
Nah, I'm saying Magic Johnson proud of his son being a faggot. He's on that old, you know. He wants people to be proud of him having a flamboyant son.
I mean, do we really? I mean, would you be proud of that shit? And so you can really only imagine. You know what that'd do to a man, bro? You have to be a straight bitch to be walking with your son, big grown ass motherfucking homosexual, man, and super flamboyant and flaming, man, and you're walking around in public taking pictures and shit, man. You would have, as a man, you would have to be a fucking straight. You had no soul. You could have no soul left in you. I couldn't. You could do that shit, masquerade your son like a fucking female in front of the fucking masses, bro. You're his dad. You're supposed to be his protector. That's like the most shameful moment in a man's life.
Yeah, and he's showing them off. That's the thing.
Hey, again, I'm gonna say this one more time, cause after he signed the contract, did he even have a choice? Do you even have a choice?
Nah.
What you gonna do with this motherfucker after you signed the contract?
Nah, he probably had no choice, man.
And here's the real part: his mama. The son right there. This gotta kill you, Queen. This gotta kill you, Queen. This gotta kill you, Queen. If you got any soul left in you, this would have to destroy you damn near. I would think, my son, I'm a mother. This is my fucking firstborn son. That would crush me. That would crush me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no fag or no shit, but as a woman, man, if I had a son and my firstborn son, right, wearing dresses and shit, that'd kill me. You would think the mama would have a a harsher reaction to this shit than the father. It's a relationship between a mother and her son, man. Your mom really love you. African mom, though. I ain't talking about no European, no tomahawk shit. I'm talking about an African sister. See her son doing some shit like that, man. In her right mind. Let me say that shit. Let me say.
I was gonna say in her right mind.
in her right motherfucking mind.
Yo, in this day and age, it's crazy how you gotta add 5 disclaimers.
I see what's going on around this motherfucker. You won't get me. You understand? Won't catch me slipping. But yeah, that'd have to crush a motherfucker, man. That'd have to crush a motherfucker. Because you got to think them as children that you're not, them as grandbabies that you're not going to have and shit. Unless you just, I don't know what the plan is with this shit, but that's generations you missing out on, bro.
I don't know what the plan is.
Generation.
Well, nah, he might be one of the ones we see have a baby, man.
Hey, I would. Was the crazy part. I wouldn't.
Daddy got the money. He got the money, man. He might get Frankenstein, man.
Hey, like I said again. After he signed the contract, does he really have a choice? For real, man. See, people make contracts, man.
Yo, I was gonna say, this shit is like medication. The fucking the way the cracker does shit is time release.
Hey. Oh man. Even like sometimes I look at Larry Fishburne, what they did to his daughter, man. I'm like, why would this motherfucker go be a porn star, man? And her dad's a fucking millionaire.
Right.
Like, why would, out of all this shit you could choose to do, rebel, you gonna go fucking be a porn star? Now, you really think this was coincidental, bro? After he signed the contract, did he really have a choice?
Hell no. Shit, that took that nigga. Yo, after the Matrix, it's crazy because after the Matrix series was over and shit, that shit hit hard. That shit hit hard as fuck.
Oh, that little video with his daughter and shit?
Yeah, that shit hit hard, man. It was over. It was like, once his daughter, it was like, well, Lawrence Fishburne, we ain't gonna see this nigga acting for a little bit.
Hey. And she looked just like him, man. Like, what?
Yeah, she looked just like the nigga. Yeah, she looked just like him.
Hey. Bro, how could you allow that? That's his firstborn. Well, no, that wasn't his firstborn. Scratch that. That ain't his firstborn. But still, like you said, that's the one that looked just like him. So, I don't know, cause. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, brother. Like, that shit about Dubois, though, I think we need to go in on that a little bit as far as, like, on another show. I'm going to go do a little homework because I want to come back with those names of that talented 10th, man. That's very important. That talented 10th, man.
You're absolutely right, man. It's still relevant. It's still relevant.
Extremely. That's why Baba Coakley was spent so much time on that shit, man. That was his life. You know what I'm saying? That was what cost him his life. He was fucking with the gatekeepers, man. They were like, nah, we got to get this dude up out of here. This dude is going to get us exposed. We ain't going to be able to run our program from that, you know, from that, the governmental agenda through the Ford Foundation and United Negro College Fund, some of these other organizations that they mirror.
Urban League.
Urban League. They mirror like community social or community self-help organizations or community social programs for black people, but they really just there to kind of keep tabs on motherfuckers, keep motherfuckers right in that same position of needing and not having, but having that hope still that the white man gonna save your ass and shit.
Well, I was gonna speak to Trump's made it so nonprofits could do advocacy and shit. So he took a lot of restrictions away from nonprofits. So now
no
they can
doubt. So now, okay,
they can function more like companies.
Yeah, but
You know?
I mean,
not that they're not, but
yeah, I feel you. Feel me?
You could create a nonprofit that earns you some income now, or you could create a nonprofit that, whereas you might not have been able to advocate about certain issues before because it would compromise your status. Now you don't have to worry about that shit. Like churches before, churches used to not be able to get directly involved in political issues and stuff like that. As far as the church itself as an institution. But members could as long as they didn't represent the church because it's a nonprofit. So now there's some freedoms allowed if you have a nonprofit when it comes to how you represent yourself publicly, and you ain't gonna lose your shit if you get caught marching with the T-shirt on of the organization you represent.
But my thing is, what is the legislation for anyway? Why did that legislation even get put on the books? If you living in the land of the free, home of the brave, why would you need a clause that says if we give you government money, unless you spend it the way that we find to be feasible, then you won't be able to get access to the money? If I qualify. How is one of the qualifications is you not saying this or you not doing that, and now y'all done removed it, but somebody else could just as well get that shit put back on the books. It's probably, or they may be activated again. And the reason I'm saying that is because basically it's selectively applied in the first goddamn place.
Yeah.
You get the more white churches and they kicking that white power Christianity, that manifest destiny shit. Ain't nobody fucking with them about that shit anyway. And so basically this is for people kicking non-American ideology and shit, anti-American ideology. I'm like, whoa, you can't be speaking against them. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers rocking with me. So they basically control, because if you basically kick in an ideology that's in line with the political narrative, you ain't gonna have no problem out of this power structure. Only if you go off topic and it's something that could maybe be considered a threat to that political power.
Yep.
So.
Well, I mean, man,
Yeah, man.
Trump is good for business in some ways, man.
I mean, I think he's very good for business in more ways than one, because right now so much infighting amongst whites that, it like Brother Bourne was saying, it's about to get greasy, because basically it's a struggle for which whites is gonna rule. So you got two white factions at each other's necks. You know what I'm saying? For whose turn, who gonna run the show next? But I don't believe that neither one of them have the concern of black people at heart. Don't expect them to. You know what I'm saying? And so, it's gonna be an interesting exchange to see how this shit pan out. White people are already, like you were saying, they trying to secure jobs and shit for themselves, man. They already seeing a dwindling in the standard of living for themselves. All the motherfuckers that was in Silicon Valley had all them cribs. And the power structure that got doggish with the motherfuckers. They burning niggas out with the directed energy weapons and shit, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? They burning their own people out, bro. Bro, they burning crackers out of their own cribs, taking whole areas of land and neighborhoods and shit. You see, the cracker wasn't saying shit when they was doing that shit to the African. You know what I mean? And then we supposed to just jump on board when they start catching some heat from their own people. But when we was getting our asses kicked, them motherfuckers was like, that's y'all's problem, niggas. Ain't got shit to do with me. I ain't never put your peoples in slavery. And so now you get your ass handed to you by the same system, and everybody supposed to, that's not right. This is bullshit. Fuck you. I'm supposed to come in when you get when it's your, when, you know what I'm saying, and we still catching hell out here. But why would I join any type of European movement like Caucasoid movement? That's thinking as if I'm helping myself by joining that shit. And so, you know, the tranny shit and all that, LBGT, like what are black people gaining by joining those types of movements? You running up the street with motherfuckers who don't even got the same problems as you. Ain't that retarded?
Fact. Yo, you know what's crazy about that?
What?
Yo, like every time I've done any kind of like advocacy work and shit, if it was with Mexicans or Puerto Ricans or any other group, the motherfuckers are only interested in moving their group forward. They don't give a fuck about niggas. As much solidarity I've heard we supposed to be having with other groups, some motherfuckers don't give a fuck about no niggas, man. Like, so let's get some bilingual service.
Would you say
you talking about fighting the crackers and shit? They talking about let's get some bilingual services for our children in school. Like, what the fuck is we here for? We don't need to be alone with the motherfuckers.
They know what they there for. They want to know
right?
what the fuck you there for, motherfucker.
Yeah.
We here to get these goddamn grants. We here to get these business grants, my brother.
Right?
Like I said, you know, Dr. Clark and them ladies, the Africans have no friends, man. We got too much in-house cleaning up to do, so we don't have the luxury of building with other groups. Other groups, like you said, they already got their own political agendas.
Oh yeah, those agendas is moving forward. Like, how about this? There's more niggas than there is Mexicans, right? But Mexicans have their own, but they have their own physical propaganda papers all over the country, different ones from different places. Our people don't think that's necessary. We got the final call. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But you go to a Mexican community and you look at the newspaper rack, you got like 5 different motherfucking publications and shit.
I disagree, homeboy.
Talk to me.
We got Ebony. We got Jet.
Come on, man.
Nah, what, man? We got, man, it ain't nothing but black people on Sports Illustrated. You know what I'm saying? But this is the mentality, bro. We've been trained to think like that. As long as you see a black person up in there with some money or whatever, like, you know, we part of that fabric because you see us participating in a non-ownership manner, in a non-ownership capacity. You hear me?
Yep.
We're participating in a non-ownership capacity. So you see that shit over decades and decades, like centuries. You start, and this is what Dr. Amos Wilson was saying. They've taken the concept of nationhood out of our thought fucking networking capacity. So niggas ain't even looking to run shit no more. You're just looking to be a part, an integrated piece of a bigger society that you don't own or control. And so at that point, you're just a modern day slave, bro. Modern day slave. It is simple as that. And so, you know what I'm saying? Then, every time a black person looks at any type of literature, material, any type of social media, you need to be asking yourself, how is this helping you progress as a black person? How is this helping your family progress? If you can't really get 3 concrete elements of how this is helping you, it's probably something you shouldn't be fucking with. Are you listening to all these little rappers kick this type of music? I ain't knocking the niggas trying to kick their flow, all right? This is what they doing. This they time. This how they thinking what the shit going. Even though I know it's coming from the power structure is giving them these ideologies and giving them the ability to put them out over the airwaves to reach, you know, a lot of different minds, a lot of different ears. So at the end of the day, you, family, if you can't apply that shit to your life in a positive manner, in which you know you wouldn't mind your children engaging in this activity, and this activity being a part of helping you get some type of foundation as far as infrastructure, then why are you listening to it? Why are you participating in things that are destroying you? Those are just logical questions. You ain't got to really do no whole, we ain't going to get too deep. Why are you participating? Is this helping you produce and provide a positive setting for your children and the growth and development of your children? If it can't do that, then it's probably something you need to be stepping back from. And then even if you're gonna get into those areas of questionable behavior, why wouldn't you be trying to create a market where you can own and kind of at least benefit from the sale of the shit? Okay, we don't like, you know, drugs, whatnot. Okay, but if there's markets there that you know that are detrimental to your community, if you can't shut those markets down, why not recirculate the money in that market to try to make that shit work in your favor?
Is that more so like
the market?
Like when you see motherfuckers when you see the Indians and BBs with the package stores, but you know us as black people got moral conflict about opening one and owning a better business than the fucking Indian. Because it's alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, at least it is a market for it in the community. If nothing else, if our people is going to buy this shit anyway, why shouldn't we control that market?
Yeah, they're going to buy the shit, man.
But they're going to buy this shit anyway. So shit, at least you could be tapping into that market, and maybe you could be channeling those funds into other areas that benefit the community.
Yep.
I mean, that has to, because right now, a lot of the behaviors that our people got are self-destructive anyway. It's like the chicks, our sisters, okay, y'all wearing the weave till the motherfucker fall apart. All right? Why not at least get a heavy steak? And I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? Why not get a heavy steak in the synthetic hair industry? Like, why just keep being a goddamn consumer? You know what I'm saying? If y'all gonna wear this shit, fuck it. Take some ownership in this shit. Y'all, our sisters is smart enough to know how to get in that game and play that game way better than these motherfucking Orientals is playing it.
Yeah. And get into some manufacturing.
Come on now. Shit. All they doing is paying black people to market this shit to y'all anyway. That's how they hitting y'all with all the hot. It's nothing but a sister telling them, look, this how they want it. Nah, the bitch ain't gonna fuck with that. You need that wet, that shit that look wet, just like you just got the shower shit.
I was gonna say the posters got nothing but black women on them. The posters that advertise the hair got nothing but black women on them.
I'm telling you. And they use our people to entice our people. You know what I'm saying? They use our people to play our people, man. That's the best way to beat a group is to use their own element of their own group to be able to push your agenda against them. Because you can't see it coming because it's coming from within. So I ain't gonna say you can't see it coming. It's difficult. It's more difficult to identify because it's happening so close to home. You know what I'm saying? It's so close to a motherfucker you can't see it.
It's almost a part of you when you see it.
You said what?
That should be a part of you.
You feel me? Now it's part of your psyche. What Dr. Amos Wilson was saying. Dr. Amos Wilson kind of got me. He started talking about the capability of the body becoming possessed by different types of psychological spirits. I mean, he started dropping some heavy shit to where to know a motherfucker like Umar Johnson and these motherfuckers, they can't even regurgitate Dr. Williams' material. He can't even regurgitate it right, bro. He sounds, to listen to him and then listen to Dr. Amos Wilson, bro, you could tell that he's a fucking, he's a stooge. All right? Ain't no knock on the brother, but you could tell he's a stooge, bro, because the information is coming straight from the elder, and that shit, the shit he's saying, all that shit is symptomatic. All that shit symptomatic. Oh, underachievement in math, this and that. It's all symptomatic, dude. You're not addressing the core of the issue. So you can easily tell that he's just kicking game. He's kicking game on niggas. Kicking game. But you have to do a little homework and do a little backdrop, but it's easy to see he kicking game, man. But if niggas wanted to rock with him, rock out with him.
Yeah, he doing some remixing.
Oh, this nigga is fucking the Srirachis up on that motherfucker. Seratas, what they call? The little digital tables and shit.
Yeah.
Seratos or whatever the fuck. Yeah, this nigga cutting it up back to back, man. But, you know. He back to back with this shit, man. Oh, I heard, bro, Born going in. You know, said he fucked this shit up, but we ain't gonna get too much shine on that shit. Niggas know that, you know. Niggas be a fraud.
That's gonna be a good show, man. When Brother Born come back with that, you gonna.
Hey, you dig? Hold on, real quick, boy. I'm gonna mute myself for 1 second.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yo. Still here though. I'm gonna mute myself real quick.
All right. Yeah, so again, this is we doing a Saturday chop up. Who this? Somebody up here. Chat room. Yo, nigga. For a trip, man.
All right, call them back with you. What was you saying?
Right.
I think you get a little.
Nah, I was in the checking the chat room real quick.
Any heads up in there?
Yeah, somebody in there playing around.
Oh, okay.
There's somebody.
Where the family at? I heard Susan say his phone was acting up, so he had to drop off. I heard Susan say where his phone was messing up.
Sounds like you're having a nigger fest on here to me. Here, nigger.
Damn, bro. What's up with it? Are you want to fuck with his dumb ass or cut his big ass off?
What'd you say, you dumb nigger? What'd you say, you dumb nigger?
Whoa. Jethro. Easy, bruh. What's good?
What are you niggers on here doing?
Motherfucker. You hear me? That's a black dude with his clown ass, coon ass nigga.
Yeah.
What up with it, homie?
That's right.
Bro,
Stop wearing. clothes and stop driving the white man's cars. Stop attempting to
That's
speak our
clown.
Stop using our
That's the
technology.
nigga.
Take your ugly nigger
Okay.
asses right to Africa, Nelson Mandela, where you belong.
Okay, bro.
That's right.
Your
Get
wife
off of
doing?
our network, you nasty niggers. No one likes a nigger.
How your wife doing though?
She's doing good. She's not allowed to talk to niggers.
Okay, bro.
Not allowed to talk to niggers.
My bad, homie. My bad. We're Betty.
Yeah, don't take a look at my wife because your nasty negress left you like you could keep a job.
Jethro. Where Becky at, bro?
Yeah, don't start eyeing my wife, you nasty nigger.
Like some Kardashians or what? What you think about them Kardashians? They nigger bitches too because they fuck with niggers or what's up?
Yeah, they're nasty nigger lovers. Get it right, nigger boy.
What would you do if you found your wife taking 2 dicks in the mouth? Black pops in the mouth.
I would tie
fuck up
to
your
the
house.
railroad tracks and leave her there with you.
Fire to the railroad tracks. What type of freaky shit is that? That's some white people shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you muted this bitch out. Get that bitch.
Yeah, I'm muted Jethro. He said Jethro.
Yeah. I think that's the same dude they used to call in when me and Born was on a couple times. This clown called in a couple times.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's a white dude neither.
Nah, I don't think
Trying to
so.
beat you. Nah, the accent ain't even that. You overdoing it, bruh. God damn.
Yeah, he's overdoing it. Yeah.
Thought it was the color
That's
purple.
okay.
This motherfucker.
It be on, be your own people sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
You know, Cassius clowns, man, looking for shit to do. They really want to do.
Oh man.
Where bro B at, man?
I don't know. He might have been at the dojo today. I'm not sure.
I text him and shit. I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? We live, bro. Like just about 15, 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So anyway, give me your take on probably what you would see causes like one of the main issues that's kind of offsetting, you know what I'm saying, black people from able to kind of get a hold of just simple shit, man. Like how hard is it for a nigga to put down a cigarette? Put down a cigarette.
It gotta be hard, man.
That's what I'm saying. And so I'm like, what the fuck is going on? To where, you know what I'm saying, it's becoming addicted. It's addiction, like killing yourself is an addiction. You feel me?
Yeah.
Niggas to eat garbage and smoke and drink until they fucking just die. Like, that's some crazy shit.
Yeah, without stopping.
But I'll stop him. Motherfucker telling you getting, you know, you coming in, you getting treatment, continuing the behavior though.
I was gonna say it's something to see where a person don't know they addicted. How many people you think don't realize they're addicted till it's too late? Meaning once you're addicted, it's too late. So
see, here's the funny part. When niggas use these terms like addiction, bro, I believe like these are just phantom terms and shit. They basically, they taking the fucking decision making and accountability off of the individual. And, oh, I was addicted. Okay, well, bitch, eat a handful of your own feces and shit. Since there's certain standards and limitations that you already know. So how's it gonna tell me, like you said, even though this shit's killing you, you getting locked up, your whole life is becoming destroyed. You can't quit.
Is it more free will than it is fragility?
Even to the point. You say it's more free will than what?
Than fragility, how fragile they are.
Well,
meaning like to be easily influenced by something put out there to destroy you, right? Would mean you're really fragile. And so, at what point is it? What point is the free will taken out of the equation, and you're under full control over the person who? And that is everybody who's on, like, again, with the cigarette alone. A motherfucker that wants them people to smoke them bogeys, his goal is lung cancer for them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And so once they start smoking and once they get to buying their first pack, they're on autopilot.
Check how fucked up the game is, though. This system is so fucking slick, bro. They told white people, look, y'all motherfuckers is getting high so much, we just gonna make this a medical condition. That way we ain't gotta lock y'all up with nothing. Y'all niggas can just go ahead and skate, y'all can just roll out, scot-free. Go ahead and skate, man. Matter of fact, we're gonna put up centers where y'all can go and get high at. You know that, you know what I'm saying, you basically, it ain't your fault. And then if, you know what I'm saying, when the black man and woman were being hit with the CIA operation of bringing crack cocaine into the black community, there was no such type of sympathy for the African community, the American African community. That shit ravaged our whole shit. You a drug addict or you a drug dealer, nigga, you getting locked. We catch you with one rock, you getting 5 years for a rock. Ravaged the whole community. I was watching the documentary where they were showing how all of the banks and shit, they knew once they flooded the black communities with the crack cocaine, it was going to destabilize those communities where people had blue collar jobs and shit. Niggas was working at some of the auto manufacturing companies and what have you. And so it was basically so-called black middle class neighborhoods. They knew once they put it in there, the banks repo all those houses, all those cars. The banks just had a field day with this shit. I'm like, God damn, that's slick as hell. The banks was in on this shit.
Damn. When?
The banks was sitting back waiting for motherfuckers to start hitting the pipe so hard that they was going to lose their cribs. They was going to swoop them up for dirt cheap. And then put them right back on the market at top dollar. So when you start to see the basic political landscape, you can see how, and then, okay, they say this shit was funding a war. They sold crack in the black community to fund a war for the Sandinistas and shit. But how that don't even add all the way up. Like, all that shit would take further, but sold crack to us to get the money and send it back to fund the war so they could keep getting the drugs up out of those areas and shit, and those still have a stronghold on those areas. But why would you need to sell drugs to the black community and then lock up a good percentage of that community when you were the ones that brought the drugs and the guns into the community in the first goddamn place?
He was
now the heroin hits the what? Heroin hits, huh?
Time release. The crack is like a fucking, and motherfuckers like an Adderall or some shit. Then they time release. So 2 o'clock.
And then
2 o'clock. He be like 2 o'clock. I'm gonna throw this at their ass. For 4 o'clock, woo, they ain't even gonna know. They thought I was done. So the next thing he follows up with is just leading off from what he did before.
Basically, like you were saying, same process, different elements they used it, but the implementation is the same.
One trick pony.
Behold the pale horse on that ass. Well, let me ask you this, Mr. What you see as some tangible things that the fam can start to do to implement, you know what I'm saying, some type of resistance to what we up against.
Well,
like just simple shit, tangible.
Hey, it's funny you asked me that.
Mm-hmm.
So I say number one is some physical fitness, maintain clarity.
That's definitely.
If you got children, and you want a creative way to discipline your children, use exercise as a method of discipline so they strengthen themselves and learn a lesson. Of course, the homeschooling, man. If you feel like you can't do it, shit, contact me or search on YouTube for tips, because it's not even a matter.
How would they get at you, big bro?
Huh?
You still got. How would they, if they wanted to contact you on some homeschool info? Like, how would they?
Oh yeah, golden hour education at gmail.com. goldenhoureducation@gmail.com. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Like, I was just talking to somebody today, and they were asking me the question. They said, is it necessary for violence if you're going to survive? And I'm like, well, if someone's going to commit violence against you, you got to be willing to commit violence against them to survive, whatever their level of violence is or aggression. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, I personally, where I'm at, I don't see the problem with low, as far as physical space and where you dwell. I don't see the problem with low visibility, man. That shit gives you time to do shit that you otherwise wouldn't have time to do, man.
When you say low visibility, what you mean? Like less these little areas that ain't all high profile, nightclubs and all that bullshit.
Just move. Just how like individually we already move strategically on what we in order to get what we need to get done, but just being more calculated in that, man. You know how some people go, I'm gonna go to the concert and shit, I'm gonna go to the fucking this or that. Nigga, why don't you come up with two alternatives for every fucking bright idea you got?
No doubt. That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying?
And too often. Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm sharing that because, like, in the space I'm at, I'm in a rural area. There's nobody out remotely around me and all that. So I do dwell on the specific question you just asked me, and that is, like, what are some creative ways to help, in some ways, empower yourself and prepare yourself for dealing with what we are already dealing with as it escalates in certain areas, I think personal detachment is important from material shit or expectations of what white people can do, like all that. There's a funny fact. It's like a fact the brother put out some days ago. He's talking about, we look at jobless rates and shit from the cracker perspective, but like the black male unemployment rate in some places is like 50 and 60% and shit. Meaning like there ain't no niggas working, no men working. This female, this is working, but there ain't no men working in some places like New York, for example, like 50% or 40% black male unemployment rate. Like half the niggas there is unemployed or some shit. And so when you think about that, you be like, nigga, draw up a new plan, man. Stop trying to fucking make this shit work, man.
So they ain't even got it, like you said. They don't even have enough jobs for themselves, dude.
That's my point.
They don't have
but But and so with us as a people, we need to get creative about how we perceive what sustainability is. You know what I'm saying? We might, in some ways, we need to adopt a level of minimalism. Like, there got to be a level of minimalism. You know?
No
We
question.
ain't gotta lose. We ain't gotta lose nothing, but we can damn sure modify how we use what we use.
How important do you think reading is, man? Like the skill of reading, like not just primarily African-centered material, but being able to interact with literature in an African-centered manner in which you can break the literature down into a digestible format for an African person who's trying to conduct an African agenda. So if you want to try to get resources and things like that, a lot of people, you know, the wording is in a format in which basically it's using code language to say that it's trying to prohibit access for people of African descent. And so when our peoples engage in certain types of programs or even like you saying, trying to get, you was telling Born, like trying to get a business in Connecticut and shit, all them hoops you got to jump through to get all these permits and all that. Basically, that's redlining to keep black people out of a position of being able to go into business for themselves. And so that's very, you know, a lot of people don't see all that red tape and shit that they throw on your ass, be thinking, you know what I mean? Like you were saying, then after a while, you just get frustrated, like, man, this is too taxes for the last 10 years and shit. Like, I don't even got that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you slowly, like you said, start moving away from the qualification process, the evaluation process.
Well, I was gonna say this: when it comes to information like that, even in the African-centered context, like putting certain things in the African-centered context, I think individuals who ain't already pre-prepped, they need to seek out somebody who can communicate well. They don't even necessarily have to be 100% on certain things, but you gotta have contact with somebody who's an effective communicator. That's what I mean. How important is reading? How important is reading? Personally, I feel like reading is overrated. I'm saying reading is overrated in the context of if you put forth the effort to read this shit, that's really all it's about. So one's capacity to read is one thing, but back to what you mentioned was, what about the comprehension? I think comprehension matters more than your ability to read. And so you and I both know you don't need to know how to read in order to comprehend what somebody means when they're talking to you, right? But on paper that don't work that way. So as far as reading concerned, I think vocabulary is just important, man. Like, even with my son, like a lot of what I focus on with him, he's 17, so I'm focusing on vocab. Reason why is because his vocabulary still has to continue to expand, regardless of how much reading he chooses to do as an adult. You know what I'm saying? And so it's more about the familiarity with the words and what they mean.
Well, you know what I try to do.
This what I was gonna say. There's plenty of motherfuckers that can read real good, right? But they can't fill out an application.
Yeah. Because people think reading is bad.
Yeah, reading doesn't equate to competence.
Not at all. Not at all.
You know?
Reading only means that you can actually make out certain words of these letters and characters. But like you said, how to apply, critically analyze what you're reading, how to look for elements of the topic matter that are condescending. See, that's where like you saying, comprehension comes in.
Yeah,
and that's
that
where,
comprehension. That comprehension key, because you know, like when somebody's talking to you and they trying to bullshit you, you comprehend their bullshit, right?
yeah, exactly.
So it's the same approach with reading. You're looking for them key words, them key phrases to give you the context you need to make a judgment on how relevant it is even to be reading this shit in the first place.
You know, one time I was going over some homework with my daughter. She was in the 7th grade. She was in the 7th or 8th grade at the time. We was reading this motherfucking book because it was supposed to be her social studies book, right? The words, the literature, there's a picture right here, and then the words are basically breaking down the picture. But we're reading the literature, and it's saying, basically it's talking about the ice ages and how the European came about at this specific time, and the ice preserved some of the artifacts from this tomahawk, right? And so basically it was like, look at the finely stitched fabric, the sharp tools, the sharp tool that was used for either cutting or pounding, blah blah. I said, and me and my daughter reading, I said, do you see this shit right here? And she's like, what? I said, first of all, look at the picture. Where you see some finely stitched clothing at? I said, I see a piece of fur, like right there hanging off to the side. They wrote finely stitched clothing like these people will have some type of high civilization. So they were trying to like read into the bullshit. But if you wasn't really paying attention with your mind, you're just reading the words and you're taking it in as if what you're looking at is what the paragraph is talking about, but it's not. It's adding a whole lot of, huh?
Hell yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
Man, it was adding a bunch of shit. They talking about, look at that handcrafted tool and shit. I said, where you see any? You don't even see no tool in the picture. And so, you know, they lying, but they're trying to give the impression that these motherfuckers is coming from some type of high civilization, high culture, man. But they get to the point where they start talking, and then the human mind, if you're not fucking sharp, you just reading this shit, and you just assuming what this shit is saying and talking about the picture. But when you analyze the picture and the literature is speaking about things that don't even exist in the picture. And so
I was gonna say
is slick.
That shit's assimilating that information into your psyche, yo.
There you go.
Yo, it creates the basis for beliefs so that you can defend it.
You feel me? Oh, I did read the chapter. No, I did say it was fine clothing in there. Okay, that's what
not even.
Said.
How about not even? You give some African-centered information about the same topic, and the full denial go is next. You're gonna be, oh no, I read this in the book. What you saying ain't right.
No doubt. You said basically that concept has been taught, and it's already ingrained in the children's mind. And so before there's any research, they basically, as a child, you're going to take this shit for face value. Your parents is telling you, go to fuck to school, learn, get educated. So you just assuming everything these motherfuckers is giving you is just information is on point.
Everything is right. Yep. Everything they teach you is right. Yep. That's why you pose a question based on trying to interpret things in an African-centered context for people. It requires a person who thinks in an African-centered context to teach a lot of our people. Because a lot of our people don't have the capacity to get there. A lot of our people don't have the capacity to get there through research alone because the effort ain't there. You know, as much as one might know it's benefit to them, they're like, nigga, where am I find the willpower to do this shit? Because I really want to stop smoking cigarettes, right?
And then, again, they thinking, what's the benefit? And it was a point in time where, you know, you question the information, the relevance of it, but at the same time, like you said, when you got the African-centered paradigm, it gives everything a context so you know what applies and what doesn't.
Yeah.
That you may not know in exact detail, but you have a good feel for the type of information that will benefit you versus that will not. And the shit that you really look like it don't have no real relevance, let me analyze it and see from an African Center standpoint if I could utilize some of it.
Yep. Back.
So well, I'm like, I thought that was that's the information is stir. I hope cats do get at you now that you didn't gave the your email and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make a quick little run, big bro. It's kind of like a short night for me. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's all right. That's all right. Yo, I appreciate you asking a solution-based question to close out with, man.
You did.
Yeah, that was a good way to.
That
was a good way to close out.
Yeah. And so I thought it was a good build, all in all. You know what I'm saying? I wish more of the family could have been rocking, but I'm sure they'd be rocking out with us on the next one, though. For sure.
Oh yeah. Definitely. We just spinning the gears now, getting started back up again, man. So there'll be some more.
And again,
there'll be some more promotion going out. So people familiar with the show can get some notifications knowing that we back on and so forth.
No doubt. And again, I want the family to think. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody like J. Edgar Hoover, writing the edict to stop the rise of a black messiah, man. That's phenomenal. That's heavyweight shit. Motherfuckers talking like that back in goddamn 1920s, 1930s. That's heavyweight shit, man. So that just tells you the potential of your group. So if motherfuckers organize and mobilize their thoughts, knowing that y'all Africans first, second, and third, you begin to open up doors of opportunity. That thinking as if you're just, are you black, are you this, are you that, you automatically shut a lot of different psychological doors open. You shut a lot of psychological doors. You need those doors open in order for your mind to grasp the fullness of who you are and where you come from and where you gonna go. But without knowledge itself, understanding, a brief understanding of your history, how some of the things that your people have done under some of the greatest stresses and the greatest oppression, motherfuckers, and still persevere like we still here now. So the game is still wide open. You know what I'm saying? And there's so much to be done. You know what I mean? That a lot of the things that you were just speaking on, the homeschooling, the diet, you know what I'm saying, turning off the TV, you know what I'm saying, just having a brotherly, sisterly love for your motherfucking other. You see a black person every day, y'all out on the beat, man, just say hi. That's simple. How you doing? Ma'am, sir, sister, brother, like, speak. At least open the dialogue. You don't know who that person might be in your life while they crossed your path, and they don't know who you might be. But sometimes just opening that dialogue creates a connection that turns into something major that you never even thought that it could turn into. But, up here, man, niggas act like motherfuckers don't be wanting to speak, bro. And then when you speak, it be funny because I go out my mouth, but how you doing, sis? Sis, how you doing? Oh, hey, I'm fine. Motherfuckers open up, but you can see where the mind is being pressed to where it's kind of
it's resistant to a real connection.
Yeah. Motherfuckers don't want you to know that they fucked up, they lost their job, or motherfucking husband left them, or their wife left, this, that. So they be so bottled in because they don't want motherfuckers to know. You have to understand this. Behind enemy lines, family, you're going to have a whole lot of dysfunctional shit. Relationships ain't going to work well. Your children going to be acting nutty. There's going to be a whole lot of symptoms of dysfunctional behavior coming from all angles. And so, again, don't get caught up on those symptomatic issues as if those are the things causing your problem. So the first thing that you want to do is get an African-centered thought process. See things from how black people should see things based on what you feel, you know what I'm saying, you need as a group and what you feel like you're not getting. You know what I'm saying? But knowledge itself is the first joint, man. And I ain't talking about, starting in slavery and shit. I'm talking about, the many different civilizations that we birthed. From Africa to China to India, I mean, you name it, our mark is on the world, it's on the globe, it's on the universe. And so our people need to know that type of shit, bro. That's vital information. That shit needs to be known. Especially the babies who need to know that. It all starts in the mind, man. Once you start getting the mind, like you said, break it down to where you feel like you inferior and shit, or you can't compete, or you can't rock, then you really not gonna put forth like you. Me and Brother Born was like, he said something the other day. He said you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. 100% of the shots you don't take. Damn, you ain't gonna even try. You damn sure ain't gonna be able to overcome any adversity. At least, you know what I'm saying? Throw a punch, the nigga whooping your ass. Just throw a haymaker, nigga. You might connect. You already broke your ass. So yeah, at some point you have to engage. Other than that, your demise is definite. It's guaranteed. Your demise is guaranteed, bro. So on that note, man, you know what I'm saying? Peace to the fam. I'm gonna fall back. Let me know when it's you know what I'm saying, when it's time to throw the FOG signal up again, I'm on deck.
All right, no doubt, fam.
All right, big bro. I'll holler at you later.
All right, AAEP.
AEP, family.